I'm here, Law.
I see an empty lobby, Ozzy.
Yeah, I'm just turning my stream on.
Oh no!
I'm gonna cast after it too, so figure I might as well
Can you
turn it on
make it?
now.
Can you add any more pressure to this, Ozzy?
There's no
Just getting
pressure.
my stream on, sending your mom a message to watch you die live.
What if you win, man? If you win, it's gonna make me look stupid that you're saying all these things, you know?
The odds?
You're setting yourself up for a win-win situation. I'm gonna lose now. It's messed up.
No, I think the odds of me beating your Terran is like 20%.
You beat my
Maybe
Protoss.
less.
My Protoss is better than my Terran. Or was, I don't know.
I'm not so sure about that. Your Terran's gotten pretty good.
Yeah,
We
my
haven't
Protoss
practiced
has gotten a
Protoss
lot
in while.
worse. That's true.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
Can I read you? Yes, sir? SCV good to go, sir.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV good to go, sir.
A friendly one-on-one, it is. What's up, Robert?
Not enough minerals.
SCV good to go, sir. Yes, sir? Affirmative. Orders
Not
received.
enough
Too early.
minerals.
I can't feel there. Yes, sir? SCV good to go, sir. Can I read you? Can I read you? SCV good to go,
Additional
sir.
supply
Job
depots
finished. Can I
required.
read you? Affirmative. Orders received. Right away, sir. Can I read you? Yes, sir. SCV good to go, sir. Affirmative.
Did you fix this SCV?
Orders, Captain. Roger that.
More than that? Am I wrong?
SCV good
There we
to
go.
sir.
That's fixed. Man, that is picky. I didn't realize how picky that was.
I read you. Can I read you? SCV good to go, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. SCV good to go, sir. I can't feel Roger that. Orders received. Yes, sir. Orders, Captain. Reporting for duty. Orders, Captain. Yes, sir. Orders,
Your
Captain.
forces are under attack.
Hello.
Well, hi.
Reporting for duty. Orders received.
I'm just doing a game against Goose, and then I'll be ready to cast after that.
Additional supply
Oh, you're playing Goose right now?
required.
Yeah, I was just doing one game.
Right away, sir.
Okay.
Reporting for duty. Can I read you? Reporting for duty. Orders received.
Not enough minerals.
SCV good to go, sir. Yes, sir. Commander. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Orders received. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. Can I read you? Roger that.
Not enough minerals.
Reporting for duty. Standing by. I read you. Checked up and good to go. Yes, sir.
Your forces are under attack.
Oops.
Yes, sir.
Oops. I gotta stop doing that.
Commander. You want a piece of me, boy? SCV good to go, sir. Roger that. Commander, outstanding. go, sir. Reporting for duty.
Not enough minerals.
SCP good to go, sir.
Not enough minerals.
Reporting for duty. Orders received. Orders received. Affirmative. Job finished. SCP good to go, sir. I read you.
Piece of me, boy. Jacked up and good to go. Go, go, go. Give me something to shoot.
SCP
Go, go,
good to
go.
go, sir. Orders, Captain. Reporting for duty. Affirmative. Reporting for duty.
Jacked up and good to
Job
go.
finished. I read you. Right away, sir. Right away, sir. Yes, sir.
Your forces are under
Something to
attack.
shoot. Let's move.
Reporting for duty.
Jacked up
SCP
and good
good
to
to
go.
go, sir.
Outstanding.
Yes, sir.
Jacked up and good to go.
Orders received.
Give me something to
Where
shoot.
does it hurt? Captain Red,
Yes, sir. Job finished.
Upgrade
SCP good to
complete.
go, sir.
state the nature of your medical emergency.
Give me something
Where
to
does
shoot.
it hurt?
I read you. Reporting for duty. I read you.
Standing
Where
back.
does it hurt?
SCP good to go,
Piece of
sir.
me, boy. Jacked up and good to go. Go, go, go. Give me something to
Research
shoot.
complete.
Orders, Captain.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Did someone page me?
SCP good to
State
go,
the
sir.
nature of your medical
You
emergency.
want a piece of me, boy?
Reporting for duty.
Additional supply depots required.
Commander.
State the nature of your medical emergency.
Orders, Captain.
Did someone page
SCP
me?
good to go, sir. Right away, sir.
Insufficient Vespene
Orders
gas.
received.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Your forces are under attack.
I read you. I can't build there. Yes, sir. Orders, Captain.
State the nature of your medical emergency.
Is that a King Gaming gamer right now, dude?
SCP good to go,
Not
sir.
enough
Orders
minerals.
received.
Need medical attention? Stat.
Yes, sir.
Jacked up and
Where does it
SCP
hurt?
good to go, sir.
State the nature of your medical emergency.
Yes, sir.
jacked up and good to go.
Job finished. Job finished.
Where does it hurt?
Yes, sir. Orders, Captain. Orders, Captain. Job
Upgrade
SCP
complete.
good to go, sir.
State the nature of your medical emergency. Need medical attention? Did someone page me? Did someone page me? State the nature of your medical emergency.
SCP good to go, sir. Reporting for duty.
You want a piece of me, boy? Give me something to
State
shoot.
the nature of your medical emergency.
Jacked up and
Did
good to go.
someone page me?
SCP good to go, sir.
Give me something to
State the
shoot.
nature of your medical
Give me something to
emergency.
shoot. Commander.
State the nature of your medical emergency.
Jacked up and good to
Did
go.
someone page me?
Commander.
SCP good to go, sir.
Outstanding.
Where does it hurt?
Standing
State
back.
the nature of your medical emergency. State the nature of your medical emergency.
SCP good to go, sir. Reporting for duty. I read you. Reporting for duty.
Commander.
Need medical
Go, go,
attention?
go. Jacked
Did
up
someone
and good
page
to
me?
go. You want a piece of me, boy? Go,
Where
go,
does it
go.
hurt?
Go, sir.
Give me something to shoot.
Yes, sir.
You want a piece of me, boy? Go, go, go.
Did someone page
Rock
me?
and roll.
SCP good to go, sir. Orders, Captain. Job reporting for duty. Orders, Captain.
Need medical attention?
Standing back.
State the nature of your medical
Piece of me,
emergency.
boy.
Did someone
Give me
page
something
me?
to shoot.
Where does it
Rock
hurt?
and
Go,
roll.
sir.
Give me
Did
something
someone
to shoot.
page me?
Let's move.
Job finished.
Standing back.
Orders,
Your
Captain Red,
forces are under attack.
Jacked up.
need medical attention? Right away. I'm on the job. On my way.
Go, go, go. Standing back.
I'm on the job. Captain Red,
Your forces are under attack.
I read you.
did someone page me? Right away.
Something to shoot.
Need medical attention? On
SCP
my
good to
way.
go, sir.
Where does it hurt?
SCP good to go,
Did
sir.
someone page me?
Yes, sir.
Captain Red,
Jacked up.
did someone page me?
Your forces are under attack.
Where does it hurt? State the nature of your medical
Upgrade
emergency.
complete.
SCP good to go, sir.
Where does it hurt? Right away.
Piece of me, boy.
Orders, Captain? I read you.
Captain ready.
Orders, Captain?
You want a piece of me, boy?
Yes, sir?
Give me some of this shit.
Did someone page me?
This guy's just better than me. He's 1500. He's just way better than me. I was fucking 1900 like 2 months ago. I don't understand. I played just as little as I do now back then. Why am I fucking 1500?
You're not. There's no way you're actually 1500.
I'm actually fucking 1500, dude. I just lost to a fucking 1500 player 2 games in a row. ZVP was the easy matchup.
Is he
In fucking
actually
PSL, I was
1500?
fucking 1900, and I wasn't even fucking playing seriously. I don't understand why I'm such fucking dog shit now. How do I fucking tank fucking 400 MMR in like 2 months?
Yeah, you probably just got lucky, dude.
What the fuck up, Love Snow? What the, are you fucking? Oh my god, I
You're the ranged killer, dude. You're not
I
1500.
can't fucking deal with you right now.
You hear Flash? Okay, Flash might be away for a second. I'm just gonna wait on him.
What's up?
You ready?
Yeah, man.
All right. It's black. Yeah, I was hiding the screen. I don't have like a proper like transition screen
Yet.
yet. Goose is making stuff for me.
All right, I'm moving down.
Oh, you can just join, huh?
Yeah, you gave me the role, remember?
Perfect. Oh, you do have a role. Nice. I think you're the only one with it.
Does Mini has the role, right? Or did we adjust the caster role stuff?
Okay, yeah, he does too. I think it's just you two then.
Well, I feel so special.
Heck yeah. Okay, we're doing Doodle and Tucson first.
Okay, sounds good.
Starting off with the exciting ones, you know? And then we'll get more boring as we go. Let's see, we're gonna do Doodle and Tucson, and then probably Squizzin and Hula Baloo. Or maybe we'll do this one then Miracle vs. Raz, because PvP typically is a lot shorter, and then we'll see how we feel after.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. But this is PvT, so can be long. Okay, just gonna change my stream titles. Except that YouTube doesn't let me for some reason. Round of 32. Doodle vs. Tucson. And Miracle vs. Raz. I guess I'll change it on YouTube, maybe. Okay. I had been casting last night as well. I've kind of lost my voice a little bit. I have a notoriously pathetic voice. I've told you before.
Not to worry.
So
you
I-
know I can do the carry job.
Yeah, and that's what I like about you, Flash, is you can carry. You can carry a cast. I don't trust the others as much with it.
I'm the Energizer buddy, you know that. So
Yeah.
I'm always ready.
You're the
For
contrast.
better or for worst.
Look, hanging out in a call, I kind of hate it, but in a casting scenario, I love it. So,
There you go. There you go.
all right, guys, we're gonna do the PCSL cast for Tucson versus Doodle. This should be a pretty high-level game. Tucson, we saw him in the KCM against Dragon. He actually gave us a really good game, so I'm really curious to see him play against Doodle. Doodle, however, he's S rank, right?
Yeah, he's S now.
Yeah, so Doodle, very, very good Protoss player. Definitely going to give Tucson some pretty tough games, so we'll see how he can do. Same as the last series, it's going to be a best of 3. First map's going to be Metropolis, and loser picks the map. We're going to be using the new SSL map pool, so you might see some maps that you haven't seen before. So we're going to go and jump into this game. And yeah, I'm actually really interested to watch this one. Tucson really impressed me in the KCM last time I saw him play. And look at that, 2 games in a row. We have people posting in TVB. I love it. Alright, spawning in the top left, we have Tucson, our Terran hero, for those of us that have become Terran players. Okay, we're always rooting for the Terrans nowadays. And then top right, we have Doodle. I've never watched... Well, I wouldn't say never, but I've rarely watched Doodle play, but I hear all the time about how strong he is.
Yeah, he's just a really, really strong, fundamentally sound player. You know, practices really hard, rose up the ranks very quickly, and he's just really tough guy to beat. Like, you can throw tricks at him, but he's gonna, you know, usually deflect them and all that good stuff. He's just gonna play really solid. That's sort of the play style I've seen him play. I played against him once. He killed me with like 2 Dragoons, basically. It was not a pretty game, let's put it that way. But on the other side, Tucson, you know, Ozzy, you and I are on the same CPL team as him. He's currently, I think, undefeated in Tier 0 in CPL. I think he's like 7-0 or something crazy like that. So super, super strong player. It's not even like he's playing against like the lower Tier 0 guys. He's playing against like, you know, the pretty top guys on the opposing team. And
Right.
He's done a fantastic job for our team this season.
Yeah, he's definitely been performing really well in CPL. So yeah, the thing I was going to ask was about Doodle style, and you kind of just told me there. He just plays like a standard strong style. I assume he doesn't really do a whole lot of cheese. Have you seen him mix much cheese in, or how does he
No,
like to
not
play?
really. You know, he's just one of those guys who you're gonna play against him. He's not gonna try to throw a curveball at you. He's just gonna look at you straight in the face and say, I'm just gonna beat you straight up. And that's always been how he is. And I haven't really seen him deviate kind of from that strategy.
I like that. I respect that play style because that's how I played Protoss, right? So I can respect it. It's a style that says that he wants to win because he's better than you, right? He believes that he's better than you. He wants to win because he's better than you, and it sounds like he plays that kind of style. So I have a lot of respect for someone that plays that way. Not to say that cheesing is bad, guys. All right, it is actually a good thing to mix in a series, but yeah, I do like people that just practice strong, solid games. We're going to get that Crawl Scout first from Tucson. You don't see that very often, actually, TVP. Usually it's near spawns because they're looking for a potential 12 Nexus bust.
Yeah, really interesting to see that coming out. And, you know, again, I just wonder what this has been. We've seen a lot of Terrans kind of start doing this Cross Scout instead of doing like a normal End Scout. And we did see, obviously, that from this position, he has actually seen the probe coming down. So he actually does know where Doodle is on a second scout, essentially. You know, again, I have to actually probably look at the timings and all that good stuff to see exactly what's going on for the reason why Terrans are starting to do this. But it is very interesting to see. And Doodle's actually going to get the last scout here, so pretty bad for him. He's not going to get the information, especially off of a 1-Rax fast expand. You know, Protoss usually wants to see that as fast as possible so that they can be greeted themselves or maybe do something like a proxy robo, for example.
Yeah, going to be a good start for Tucson. And I wonder, too, if the Crawl Scout is relative to him going 15cc. Because he was going to be doing it regardless at that point, it looked like. And yeah, it's going to be like a 23 Nexus, looks like, for Doodle. So this is pretty much best case scenario for Tucson as an opener. Getting last scouted, 23 Nexus versus the 15cc. So yeah, pretty comfortable start for Tucson here.
Yeah, Doodle's actually going for a 24 next, looks like. His probe is a little bit late getting to that natural, but it's not really going to matter that much in the grand scheme of things. Dragoon does see the bunker out front, so unfortunately for Doodle, he's probably thinking to himself, damn, I got last scout, and he went 1RX FE, so I can't even really punish this that well. Obviously, he did go for the fast range, so he will get some economic damage there with the SCV repair, but unfortunately, again, just not in the spot you really want to be as a Protoss player, seeing your Terran opponent fast expand like this.
Yeah, he actually didn't see the CC yet, so he might not know yet that it's 15 because he only saw the bunker. He didn't go far enough to confirm the CC timing. But he will be able to notice if he doesn't already know. He will be able to notice. Should by now even, right? Because we haven't seen a factory unit, so he should already know something's going on at least.
Yep, absolutely. Tucson over here is got the SCV still alive, and he's actually going to come loop around here. Maybe he can sneak in here before the third goon pops out and get the SCV into the main. And it's going to be a really good timing because he'll know exactly kind of what Doodle is planning for, if he's going for maybe a fast Citadel or if he's going to try to go into something like a Reaver Tech. Obviously, Robo is standard at this timing, so he's not going to know exactly what this robotics facility is going to be used for. But this is always really nice. You know for sure at least it's not going to be a DT rush at this point off of a 23 next.
Yeah, this is great scouting from Tucson because this means he gets to skip the eBay for a pretty decent while. Like you said, he doesn't know if it's going to be Reaver or not, but at least he does confirm that it's not DT, so he can be a little bit greedier, can just go and throw down that armory and delay his eBay a little bit, so that's kind of nice for him. We got the tank building, no siege mode on the way yet. There's going to be 3 goons up here shooting away at this bunker, but I mean, you see it in the worker count. Tucson up 2 workers as a Terran player. That feels pretty fantastic at this stage in the game.
Yep, and one thing to note actually as well is we didn't really mention this at the very beginning, but the spawning locations for Terran vs Protoss. This is one of the maps that I've been talking about a lot in terms of the spawn imbalances, and actually the spawns favor Tucson quite a bit here in the Terran vs Protoss situation because Protoss's normal third is actually 12 o'clock here, but instead they're gonna have to expand to the 3 o'clock position, which is a little bit more exposed. And so we might see Tucson with the favorable positions just go for like a really fast like 6 factory push of some sort. So again, just gonna have to see sort of how the players want to decide how to play the rest of this game out. Doodle does have that probe over at 3 o'clock as well, getting ready to take that expansion, but he has opted for the double support bay here. Mistake from Doodle, unfortunately. Yeah, not what he wants, unfortunately. He's gonna research. Oh, he canceled. Okay.
Right, good. Yeah, a little bit could have been bad. I thought, oh, right, double tap A. It brings up the replay progress. Sorry about that, guys. Gotta remember not to do that. We're going to see that 3 tank push come out from Tucson, a very common push. It is going to be into a Reaver, so Doodle should be able to hold this pretty easily with proper micro, but does lose 1 goon and 1 goon getting very, very low. One thing I wanted to...
Second one too.
Yeah, kind of forgets to go all the way back, so only going halfway back, losing another half goon on top of the one that died. So definitely a pretty good start for Tucson. Shuttle coming out with the Reaver now, but one thing I wanted to mention real quick before this starts is this push position also very hard for Protoss to stop. Later in the game, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. But here comes the Reaver. Does see the Reaver come out. Nice scarab shot there. Picks off the last anti-air on the Marine, and we'll be able to start picking off these siege tanks as well. Tucson's going to continue to push up here. Maybe he's going to try to get this last Dragoon, because without any more Dragoon support, these Vultures can definitely get in here and get a lot of probe kills, and that's exactly what Tucson's going to be going for. He's going to sacrifice that last tank, get a couple of mines laid down here, and he's going to run these Vultures into the main base and start picking off probes. So this is really good damage here from Tucson, especially on top of the fact that Doodle doesn't have that third base yet over at the 3 o'clock position. So we're going to see this worker count starting to really balloon in favor of Tucson, and behind this, Tucson is getting the armory as well, but continuing to rally Vultures around to maybe get some more pressure. But man, this is a lot of damage here that Doodle's receiving.
Yeah.
Oh, it's mine! Killing the Reaver in a couple probes.
Ooh, I looked away. Sorry, guys, I missed that right when I looked away. Another big mine hit, too, on top of these 2 Dragoons. And yeah, this is amazing damage now for Tucson. Look at the worker discrepancy now after this as well. And Doodle did not remember to cancel this pylon, so he's gonna have to kill this pylon as well before he can get out. Third Nexus just recently started. Doodle in a lot of pain. Gonna have to try and find a lot of damage with a Reaver, but like you said, we lost it to the mine, so can't even get any counter damage done after all of that.
Yeah, I mean, especially on a map like this where it is very good for air harass, as we see the main of Tucson. You know, you got that little kind of spot poking out behind the natural mineral line there, and it's a really good spot to drop Reavers, especially because that one turret right there at the very right side of his main isn't going to cover everything. So there's going to be a safe spot to drop that Reaver to pick off the turret and then start getting in more and getting some damage done. But because he did lose that Reaver, as you said, there's no counter pressure. So Tucson's going to be able to just macro up really easily here. He's already got up to 5 factories, not going for 6, which is actually an interesting decision. I feel like, you know, in this position, after he did so much damage and killed the Reaver, I would have expected him to just throw down the 6 factory and say, I'm just going to push you and kill you, because it's not like he needs to go for an economic game here with off of a 5 fact. But that's the choice he's making, and I mean, regardless, he's going to be in a fantastic position.
Yeah, definitely agree. And we do actually see the 6 factory starting just now, so he is going to probably commit to a push after all. Yeah, maybe just either it was like a little bit of a later decision, or maybe just waiting for resources, whatever it was. But yeah, is going to go potentially for that kill now after that great opening for him. And it's going to be very hard for Doodle to find much damage here. He does get in with this Reaver and Goon and gets 1 kill on the turrets. We do have these kind of safety mines set up, and I like the way Tucson's kind of doing his defense up here. It's going to be very hard for Doodle to get through this to find any like real damage. Going to pick off a few units here and there. Goon does go down. Reaver going to get picked up now and fly away. So minimal damage for Doodle, but at least a little bit of harassment, trying to disrupt Tucson just as much as he can. But Tucson still with that 2 worker lead and gearing up for a potential killer push here.
Yeah, Tucson off of that 1 Rax fast expand already, almost 60 workers there at 10-minute mark, which is incredible. Really strong economy for him. And as you said, yeah, his defense there was actually immaculate, right? I mean, he did lose an SCV and the turret there, but other than that, he didn't lose a siege tank. He didn't get any more pressure than was going to come towards him, and so he's ready now for that push. He's got 6 factories plus 1 is not anywhere near done yet. He actually, I think, maybe put that down a little bit later than he would have wanted to, but he's getting ready for that push, and we see that the tanks are already sieged up. Look at this. It's a really solid play from him, knowing that the Dragoons want to get out front. He's already dropped the siege tanks and sieged them up to be able to push these goons back and get some damage on them.
Yeah, great scan ahead as he was getting ready to push out to make sure he doesn't get caught off guard. Doodle does get up to 2 Reavers right now, and we don't have any turrets, or Goliaths, sorry, making or made at this point, so... Unfortunately for Doodle, though, these Reavers completely in the wrong position as these units are coming out, pushing it into his goons.
Yeah, Tucson's controlling this really, really well here. He's getting these vultures to kind of try to wrap around these Dragoons, lay some mines. Dragoons are now pushed southward rather than being pushed on the retreat path. And so this is going to be really difficult here for Doodle. If Tucson can continue to lay mines between his army and Doodle's army, then Doodle's army will be cut off as Tucson continues to push here into the natural expansion. There is another shuttle with a lot of zealots out here, and unfortunately no mines were laid. So the Dragoons are starting to get a little bit on top of these siege tanks. The vultures are not in the best position here. And the mines are going down. Reaver is getting dropped on top of tanks. Has Doodle held this? What a scarab shot as well. Beautiful Reaver control here from Doodle. And Doodle magnificently holds this push. That's incredible.
Yeah, great punishment. Kind of a little bit of too much of a rush, I feel like, from Tucson. Definitely pushing really, really deep, which was great initially, but then not checking for like the flank or anything like that. Like you said, no mines going down below his army, which really surprised me, and it allowed Doodle to get into this great position uncontested into an unsieged Terran push there. So what should have been or could have been a game-ending push for Tucson gets completely snuffed out by Doodle, almost as optimally as you could hope for.
Yeah, I mean, Doodle only lost 1 Reaver there. Still's got that 1 Reaver at the 9 o'clock expansion right now. Going to try to get some harassment down. Goliaths are there to push it away. But as you were saying before, there wasn't any Goliaths. No Goliath range hasn't even been started yet. You know, hasn't even, let alone been finished for that push. And so a lot of the time, you know, we always hear players like Light talk about how you do need 4 to 6 Goliaths with your push when you do it, because especially if the opponent goes for shuttle style, you really need those Goliaths to kind of kill those shuttles and at least make sure that if he does drop the Reavers to kill some siege tanks, you can at least kill the shuttle in return and kill the Reavers off so that you can't get any kind of counter pressure. So just massive play there from Doodle. Now, at the very least, Tucson is gotten his 3rd base started before the 4th base of Doodle. Doodle did lose that probe going down to the bottom right-hand portion of the map to try to set up that 4th base, but instead he's going to expand to the 12 o'clock here for this 4th base.
And that's a dangerous looking base to take for Doodle. It's so close to the Terran rally points. But yeah, like you said, I mean, Tucson getting his 3rd down at a pretty good time. We do have these 3 shuttles flying into the top. We have these extra turrets coming down, finishing just in time with a nice minefield too. I love this setup.
Yeah, Zealot getting dropped here, gonna clear out some of the mines here. Oh, but there is a mine that does hit on both the Reavers there, so Reavers are actually very low HP at this moment right now. So at least the nice thing is that Doodle, because he cleared out those turrets, he does have an escape path for these shuttles if he needs to run back. But he's gonna maybe try to target down this armory, which is trying to research that +1 plating upgrade right now. The tanks are getting on top of these Reavers. One Reaver does manage to survive. Unfortunately, one does go down, but he's just gonna retreat. He's gonna keep that Reaver and run it away.
Yeah, really nice setup from Tucson. Manages to not lose his armory. Almost kills the Reaver shuttle on the way out.
It's so sad.
Yeah, this depot looks like it might end up burning down, but yeah, I mean, pretty good defense from Tucson. Doodle luckily didn't lose too much, just a few units, one shuttle, one Reaver. I mean, it's a little bit expensive, but it could have been a lot worse. I thought that defense setup was honestly looking really, really clean from Tucson, so it could have been a lot uglier for Doodle. But Tucson's third going to be up and running here now very soon. These mines do at least spot this Nexus. Unfortunately for Tucson, we're slightly misplaced, so it did get to go down quicker, but he does at least know it's here, and he's going to start pushing into this position. And Doodle looks like he's kind of unaware of the move out right now. Oh, flying in with 3 shuttles at the 3 o'clock. Or 9 o'clock.
Yeah, he's trying to counter right now. Meanwhile, Tucson's going to kill off this fourth base here from Doodle. Doodle's also expanding down to the bottom right. He's got a probe set up there, getting the Nexus down as well. So it's kind of like a little bit of a base trade here. Doodle is essentially saying, yeah, you can kill my 4th base, but I'm going to kill your 3rd. And a Terran on 2 base is going to be worse than me, who I'm already starting to set up that 5th base down there at the bottom right. So this, it's kind of interesting, the positions here. Obviously, we did expect that this base would go down here for Doodle at 12 o'clock, as it's so close to the Terran spawn location, essentially. But man, it's gonna be difficult to kind of push up this ramp here with these Dragoons. So yeah, they're gonna have to back up a little bit. So, dealt a little bit of economic damage, but he is gonna end up losing this 12 o'clock expansion.
A lot of DTs coming out from Doodle now. We'll see how quick Tucson is to scan these armies when the DTs show up. Looks like he might try pushing into the 3rd base again from Tucson. 12 o'clock, gonna go down, not really defendable, so I completely understand giving this up. Gonna go for another bust attempt here at the 9 o'clock, but again, these units are pretty close for Terran from the natural if he reacts quickly.
Yep, mines going off right now. Zealots are doing a pretty good job of getting through right now. Only 1 mine remains. Shuttle's going to sacrifice itself to get these Zealots down, but here, Tucson's going to come out and respond, laying a couple mines down here to kind of block and pick off these DTs, hopefully. But really good mine drags there from Doodle so far, but unfortunately, I think just too many Terran units here to for Doodle to push in here and stop this 3rd base from going up for Terran.
Yeah, this is going to get cleaned up, and Doodle does at least retake that 4th base, like you were pointing out. But supply looking pretty good for Tucson right now. We do have our sci-fi done, but we don't have any upgrades running right now. Just kind of non-stop fighting. Lots of DT, actually, from Doodle. A lot of DT.
Yeah, it's like made like 5 DTs at a time. Kind of an interesting tactic here, especially for when you're not really panicking. You're kind of sending them in with the army. I mean, there are so many turrets out on the map right now for Tucson that these DTs are not being very effective right now. Oh, there was a drop also at the natural here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not that many minerals left here at the natural, but the Reavers are going to be able to get some damage down at the very least and stop Tucson from mining here. Now actually even targeting down the scanner. So he targeted down that 1 turret over there and now targeting down the scanner. So maybe the DTs are going to try to come out and do a little bit more damage without enough detection. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, these 2 Reavers are actually getting a lot of value. They killed a fair amount of SCVs, stopping all the mining, killing a few units here. So actually getting pretty good damage. We do have that bottom left base up and running now for Tucson. Just a few SCVs there at the moment.
Probe transfer coming down here at the 3 o'clock position right now. Oh, I think Doodle's gonna lose so many of these probes. 12 probes are gonna go down here, unfortunately.
So painful.
Oh, that is cruel. And he's already got siege tanks in position to shell down these cannons right now. And Doodle's army just looking very, very small right now. He's only got like about 10 Dragoons here in the middle of the map, going to try to contest this Terran ball. But he's got to get some Zealot reinforcements if he's going to try to contest this position here from Tucson.
Yeah, Goons are not going to cut it. We do have a few Zealots coming down and a shuttle with 3 Templar.
Splash.
And he kind of he has to clean this up even, because if this army wins here, it pushes into the bottom right, and there's just only 1 base mining essentially for Doodle, but great storms on top of these units.
Beautiful storms. Yeah, that's going to save him a little bit here, but the tanks are still alive. They're all at red HP. Is there a gateway down here at the bottom? No gateways down at the bottom, so he can't even reinforce quickly. He does have some DTs coming up. There is a missile turret, though, for Tucson. Tucson continuing to build these missile turrets. Maybe he knows that Doodle likes to build these DTs or something, because, man, he's building a lot of these turrets here, and the shuttle is going to try to load up some DTs, maybe drop them on top of the siege tanks, but, man, this is not looking good for Doodle right now.
Empty shuttle just flew into 3 o'clock. The Reaver was trying to load into the shuttle, it looks like, so it's just crawling into, I keep calling it 3 o'clock, the 3rd base. Reaver just gonna crawl up there at this point, but gonna get intercepted. Has no scarab, so this is gonna die for free. The multitasking from Doodle actually being pretty taxed from the constant splitting, like the pushing from Tucson. And yeah, I mean, Doodle's economy not looking great. This bottom left base being uncontested so far could be huge for Tucson. We see in the supply is up 17 supply, down only 10 workers, which is really, really good for Terran. That means his army supply is very big compared to the Protoss.
Yeah, does a good job killing off the tanks though with these DT drop, almost acting like a zealot bomb, so a little bit more of expensive, I guess, of a zealot bomb. But unfortunately for him, man, back at 12 o'clock expansion, Tucson is now going to be able to maybe stop this base from going up once again. Now, he does have a few Dragoons here that are kind of stopping these siege tanks and vultures from getting up there to the 12 and really killing it. There weren't any probes up there, but unfortunately at the same time, right now, there are so many vultures down here at the bottom right, wreaking havoc on the Protoss economy as well. So just so much action around the map. I think, again, as you said, Tucson is really stretching Doodle's attention thin, and the fact that Tucson has had that bottom left untouched this entire time means that Doodle is just continuing to fall behind on the economy, and you cannot fall behind economically against a Terran.
Man, Doodle loves his DTs. We're making a lot of DT this game. It's kind of crazy. I don't usually see so many DT. Doodle is at a bank, but he's up 30 supply now, so he's actually had some pretty decent trades going right now. Bottom right did lose a lot of its probes, but we had plenty to transfer since we have mined out a couple bases at the moment, so not really going to hurt too much in the economy yet. Tucson, okay, we're getting a storm drop here at the bottom left, and this actually could be pretty painful because we don't have a lot of economy beyond this base.
Yeah, beautiful storm drop there, killing off, I think it was about like 10 SCVs or so. That Archon will get taken out and cleaned up by those vultures, but luckily for Tucson, Tucson's got a lot of workers that were mined out at the main and natural and went to the third, so maybe can transfer some of those excess workers at his third base right now over down to that bottom left-hand position. And this is usually a lot of, honestly, one of the issues with Terran sometimes is like you get to kind of like your 3-base setup, and then grabbing that 4th base on a map like Metropolis, where it's kind of not really clear where you want to take a 4th, is quite difficult, especially to defend it as well.
Yeah, and one thing I'm noticing that's hurting Tucson a lot is we never started our +2, and it looks like we even canceled one of our armories. So we're just sitting on 1-1 with a sci-fi and not building any upgrades.
Yeah, and this little army here as well is going to get cleaned up here by Doodle. Doodle's starting to pull himself back in his game. It almost felt like Tucson was everywhere across the map, just stopping Doodle at every little moment there. But, you know, he's, again, starting to lose control of the game. He really needs to kind of establish that 4th base of his better. He does not have that much economy going down right now at that expansion. 9 SCVs mining minerals compared to he's probably got like at least 20, 25 mining at the 3rd base. So he's got to split those workers up a little bit better, maybe even try to secure that natural down there. But again, another small army here from Tucson kind of getting wiped out here by the Archon at least, but luckily there aren't many zealots to reinforce his army here from Doodle.
Yeah, Doodle's taking like more and more of a lead though. It felt like the game was going so well for Tucson the entire time, but we see him starting to gain more and more supply, and now he's on that 3-base mining, right? So he's pretty comfortable, got that 4th base building now. And it looks like there was another drop at the bottom left, and like you said, there's not really anything like securing this base, so this base getting interrupted means that Tucson's only mining off of 1 base versus a 3-base economy Protoss right now.
Yeah, it honestly feels this might be the last chance here for Tucson. He needs to manage to somehow hold this position here, attacking the 12 o'clock, but unfortunately so many zealots are getting top. All the vultures are dead now. There's even another Reaver. Oh, man, looks like Doodle really likes to keep making those Reavers later on in the game. This army is now dead for Tucson. You can see the supply is continuously shrinking here for Tucson, now sub 100. Doodle with a 30 supply lead once again, and so much economy going for him on these 3 bases. He crucially did not lose his 2nd attempt at putting up this 12 o'clock, and that's really what's kind of been keeping up in the game after losing the bottom right-hand natural. And a lot of zealot drags here, but man, these zealots getting caught on each other a little bit, so pretty good work there from Tucson, but a huge mine drag there. At least he'll kill off all of these High Templar here. So much action going on in this little skirmish here, and maybe, just maybe, Tucson's got enough to hold this right now. This last Reaver is gonna go down. No!
Oh my god.
4 HP with the last Scarab. Unbelievable.
That was almost a draw. Mine's not caring which race is which, just killing both players, just everything there. And yeah, what a fight, coming out with only a single Reaver left over. And now Doodle with his 2 favorite units. We have DTs and Reavers here at the natural to defend.
Man, he loves those units. He's at least getting some Vulture harass here, sniping some of those High Templar. Really, really important to keep that storm count low, as well as getting some probe harass here. But unfortunately for him, Doodle's once again reestablished that bottom right natural. So Doodle's now on essentially what is 4 base economy. He's about to run dry at the 3 o'clock though, so be back on 3 base economy. But he has not reestablished that 4th base this entire time. That one Reaver down there has got 6 kills, just chilling down there, waiting for an SCV to come crawling over. He does have a small contingency force here, trying to shell this bottom right natural, but I doubt this is gonna last for much longer. I think Doodle's gonna be able to waltz down here with his units and be able to take it out.
Yeah, even these DT might just be able to clean it up on their own. And I actually would have liked to have seen Tucson take the center base, honestly. It would have been much easier to defend for him than this base way out here. And yeah, I mean, we're just on that 1 base economy, getting very low on resources, and Tucson down 40 supply. He's got to secure another base somehow, or he's just going to end up losing this game. He's just going to dry up.
Yeah, maybe lifting that command center to the center as you were talking about. And that's actually one of the strategies on a map like Deja Vu, for example, or Retro, which was used before, is that Terrans would they really like that center expansion. This base actually has gas, which is even better for Terran, but most of the time it's a mineral-only base. And what happens is that if Terran can kind of secure that center location, it means that they can really spread out like an octopus around the map and kind of cut off Protoss from what they want to do. We see Tucson once again trying to attack this 12 o'clock. Does get quite a few probe kills this time around, so stopping mining here. So Doodle's going to be back down to 2 base mining. But Tucson, again, just doesn't have 2 base mining of his own. He's about to run dry here, probably in about 3 more minutes at this 9 o'clock expansion. So, you know, he's kind of against the clock right now in terms of how much longer he can remain in this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really great pick at 12 o'clock, but I see no movement towards taking a base. And I don't know if he just thinks he can win from here, or he's just given up on the game or what, but he's got to be moving for another base somewhere, but I'm just not seeing it. Just no attempt anywhere. Still no upgrades. I mean, we're staying at 1-1 for the entire game. And yeah, if we don't secure a base, it doesn't matter how well we trade if we stop mining.
Yeah, even Doodle here being really efficient with his units, just sending 1 Dragoon to kind of take pot shots over here at this command center. Doodle even got +2, by the way, on his Protoss unit. So he's got probably even upgrades, essentially, with the Terran. And yeah, missing that +2 is just a huge amount of DPS that you're losing out as a Terran player right now. And like you're saying, I don't see a way for him to take a 4th base. He just doesn't have the unit count to really hold a position right now. There's no way he can hold that bottom left-hand expansion with how many units he's got. And Doodle's, again, back on that kind of really good economy there with a lot of probes at the bottom right area. So it's just gonna be really hard here for Tucson. He's got to win like 3 big fights in a row to get back in this game, I think.
Yeah, kind of setting up in mid. I really like this Wraith. That's getting a lot of value, and I really get the thought process behind it. You're defending with DTs, well, DTs can't shoot my air units, so he's gonna send 1 Wraith to try and shut down an entire base. And Doodle just not gonna storm it, not gonna make a goon. We see a push coming through mid from Tucson. It's kind of a last hurrah at this point. Gonna be mined out of his base about the time this push gets snuffed out. He is down 50 supply at the moment. We got storms on the high ground. It's gonna be really hard to break this position with how little he has. And then after this is gone, there's just not much behind it. Bunch of tanks left at 12 o'clock.
Templar, though. Man, that was not good for Doodle there. That 1 Templar, if he got 2 storms off, I think this push would have been absolutely crushed. But he's getting into a decent position here. Nice storm there, though. Okay, we got a couple storms now coming down here, and dropping the Reaver and the Dragoons from behind. I think this army is getting wiped out here for Tucson, unfortunately. And I think this is, like I said, this is last hurrah. This is it. Didn't get enough damage here with this push, and just again, no 4th base whatsoever. That CC was gonna get repaired, but I mean, how do you take a 4th from this position?
Yeah, at this point, I can't imagine him ever holding middle or anything like that. And again, I've been pointing it out. I know it's kind of, we've been harping on it a lot, guys, but it's just what it is. I mean, Tucson's not expanding. Like I said, it doesn't matter how well you're trading if you just stop mining. And that's what we're about to see in this game.
Yep. He's down to about 60 minerals on his more fresh patches. I call them fresh, even though they're at 60 minerals or whatever. Yeah, just no base. I mean, maybe there's a position where he could maybe take 12 o'clock for himself at some point, but again, it's too hard. Like, Doodle can just fly in with the shuttles, and it's so close to his rally point that he can just continue to stream units in non-stop. And even though that, Doodle's got less workers than Tucson, the fact that Tucson's not gonna be mining at all from any patches soon doesn't matter. You have 200 SCVs for all I care. If you got no patches to mine, that might as well be 0.
Yeah, he is finally flying this command center towards the bottom left. But I mean, we're almost down 100 supply at this point, so he's never going to be able to kill another army, I don't feel like, of Doodles. Probe even going towards 6 o'clock, maybe thinking of expanding again. Doodle kind of uncertain of the position he's in, or maybe he's just trying to be safe, waiting for Tucson to starve out. He's kind of monitoring the bottom left base, and just... He knows Tucson's not mining. It looks like we had a bad rally, actually, is what this tank was up here, so he just lost 5 or 6 tanks and vultures. completely for free.
Yeah, he is now trying to finally secure and get some defenses down there at bottom left. I think that Doodle knows about this because I think he had a Zealot there that got killed off by a couple of those vultures from Tucson. So I think he should know what's going on over there. But as you said, yeah, I think he's just playing safe. He maybe doesn't know exactly how long Tucson had that fourth base for, and so he just doesn't want to overextend himself, lose his army, and Tucson suddenly rolls out with like a 150 supply army. But us casters know that Tucson is at 67 supply. He's got barely anything left at this point. So this last push here might be it.
Yeah, we have 3 tanks to defend this entire mineral line against like 100 supply of Protoss coming this way. So I think there's absolutely not even. I think there's absolutely no way he's going to hold this base. And with this going down, I expect to see Tucson GG because this is all he has for economy.
Yeah, the mass Archons too. No vessel for an EMP to at least soften them up. SCV's coming off the line to try, and he's gonna type out Radion. Not even a GG, he just says, "Go Radion, go next."
I love that response from Tucson. Not GG, he just announces the next map we're playing on. That
was a really good game, though. Very, very scrappy game. Very back and forth. Both players having a lot of great moments in that series there. Obviously, I thought from my perspective that Tucson should have had the win there. I think he threw a little bit there, especially with that 6-fact push, not having any anti-air, and also not mining a little bit better in terms of protecting his tanks from those Dragoons when the Dragoons got pushed to the middle of the map. But really well played by Doodle to come back in that game. I mean, it was not easy for him whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree. All right, you guys are going to get a black screen. Enjoy that for a second. Tucson should have had the win at biased Terran casting. Yeah. Also, Jiraiya, thanks for the raid, man. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Jiraiya.
Jeremy says, I enjoyed that. You guys work well together. Well, thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, thanks, Jeremy. We don't work well together outside of casting, but in casting, it works.
Yeah, I genuinely hate Flash. But I'm 100% willing to tolerate him and accept that he is a very good caster, so we can put our differences aside.
Could work for a common goal.
Alright, coming into map 2 of Tucson versus Doodle. As you guys saw, Tucson did choose Radion, and we have the bottom right spawn for Tucson and close bottom left spawn for Doodle.
Yep. Close spawns here. Horizontal spawn. Usually, if I'm a Terran player and I scout my opponent, I usually try to pivot into a more aggressive strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Things like a 3-tank stab, kind of like last game. I don't know if he's gonna go for a 1-rax expansion again or if he's gonna go for a factory expand. But usually a 3-tank stab on this map from these positions is quite strong. There are options maybe of even going speed vulture first is an interesting idea as well. They could go on this map. But also just maybe going 4-base setup as well works as well because you're expanding towards the Protoss. You're going to be able to take that 6 o'clock expansion and then be able to kind of shell Protoss's natural and 3rd base as well as into the main and kill some gateways while containing him over there and pushing the rest of your army to the top left part of the map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully Tucson isn't feeling too jarred, and I think we're going for another 15cc build. So I was going to say for Tucson, I mean, he kind of got the best possible opener, more or less. And then he did a lot of damage with his initial push. Got a really good position, ended up losing in a longer game. We are once again going for that cross scout, but hopefully for Tucson, he's not too in his head about that. Just needs to gather himself and continue to play solid. We definitely saw a lot of potential from Tucson in that game. But yeah, we are going to get, like I said, that 15cc. And luckily for him, Doodle tends to not go Zealot, it seems.
Yep. Like I said, Doodle, very, very just kind of normal standard, doesn't like to do kind of like that aggressive Zealot stuff. I'm sure he knows how to, and I'm sure he's done it many, many times before, but he is going to go ahead and just go for that normal, probably another 23 next. But we'll see. Maybe he just skips range and goes 19 next after seeing this command center now here from Tucson.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm really curious to see is how Doodle's going to respond to early scouting this 15cc and see how he adapts, because there's a lot of different potential responses to seeing this build very early. We do actually start range, so it looks like he's just going to want to start... He does range before Goon even, so he's going to want to start poking and forcing repairs as early as possible, so that is going to be the initial response.
Yep, quite interesting there. He definitely wants to get that goon pressure down onto the Terran economy, at least force a couple SCVs off the line so that, even if you might have a 2 or 3 SCV advantage, at least the SCVs aren't going to be mining for that period of time. And unfortunately, Tucson did not scout the right way here with his cross scout and didn't think, or I guess he picked the wrong close spawn location for where he thought that Doodle would have been. So he's going to be able to get in here dead last. Might not even get the scout in, but hopefully he'll get there in time to see if there's a Nexus going up or not. But Doodle is going to go for the, looks like the kind of a similar build as last time. Looks like it's going to be a 24 Nexus.
Yeah, it's interesting that he early scouts and his reaction is to do just exactly the same thing. So he seems to be pretty happy with this opener, it seems. I'll be curious to see if he wants to go for an early third Nexus or something like that at least, or if he just wants to continue to play exactly the same. Just go into Reaver from here, or what's going to happen. Yeah, we are going to chase this SCV a little bit. Unfortunately, we did stop chasing. And this is totally okay to do because he knows that it's 15cc, he knows there's no Vulture coming out, and there's not really any point being in front of the bunker when you don't have range anyway, so no reason not to chase this SCV down and kill it.
Yep, and it's actually going to line up perfectly. He's going to send these goons across the map now, and by the time they get to the bunker, that range is going to be done. So really good job there from Doodle. And Tucson actually sent a second SCV out onto the map. You can see it in the center of the map right now, getting ready to maybe poke back in and do kind of the similar scout that he did last game, where he saw no Citadel of a Dune, knows that he can delay his eBay for as long as possible. Doodle, as we see, is going for that robotics facility once again, so might just play out a very similar game as last time. So far, neither player has kind of deviated from the previous strategy.
So Tucson just poked in to see if it was a really early third Nexus or not, and then SCV gonna go back out. Kind of curious what he's gonna do with that. His scouting has been really strong in both games so far now. Goon's gonna start chipping away at this bunker. SCV just gonna sit in the middle. Might wait for a couple more goons to show up before going to scout, I thought, but it looks like we are just gonna dive back in.
Yep. Looks like it's going to, unfortunately, run into this Dragoon. We'll see if Doodle's going to recognize that and be able to take out this SCV before it can get into the main base of his. No, unfortunately, the SCV is going to be able to sneak by, get into the main, and you can see everything that is going on here. And we do see that, nope, everything's standard. He sees one gate, so maybe he might suspect something is up at the very least. Does see the Robo, so he probably suspects that a third base isn't put down to this point. The only other alternative would have been that there's like proxy gateway somewhere on the map.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible there could be a proxy, but I mean, if you're seeing the Robo, you can pretty much assume that there's no proxy. It wouldn't really make a lot of sense to go Robo and proxy gate at the same time. I mean, you could do it if you wanted to be tricky, I guess, but yeah, it would be a little bit odd. But yeah, he might be able to, or he should be able to figure out that there is a third Nexus that went down pretty early. So definitely a slightly different response from Doodle this time than last game. Going for the quick observatory instead of Reaver.
Yep, being a little bit more economic right now. Nice barracks positioning, soaking up some of these goon fire right now because the tank is kind of moving underneath it. Goon doesn't really, can't really see where the tank is, so I can't really fire at it. But now there are 4 goons, so he's got to be a little bit careful here with how he moves this this tank around. And that bunker might go down right now. There's not 4 SCVs repairing it. Unfortunately for Doodle, he's just a little bit worried about how many tanks maybe that Tucson has or the siege timing, so he's just going to pull back. But man, that bunker got down to like 20 HP. That was cutting it a little close there for Tucson.
Yeah, that got pretty scary. It's just a couple more volleys from going down, and that tank had already been shelled a couple times, so it was only like 6 hits away, I believe, from getting killed. So definitely a little bit of a scary moment for Tucson. Going to come out completely fine here. Third Nexus up and running for Doodle. We got 4 gateways coming down, and I mean, things looking pretty good for Doodle. We'll see if we go for that free tank stab again. We got double factory upgrades running, so I think we're about to unload and go poke, potentially, but I think Doodle's in a much better position this time to hold it than he was last game.
Yeah, he's kind of traded the Reaver for extra gates right now, and so in either case, I think he'll be totally in a fine position to hold this off. He went 1 gate into 1 gate triple. He's going to have a lot of economy here to kind of stop this push coming out, and as well as the fact that Tucson last time pushed out much earlier, obviously, because he went for a 1 RAS fast expand rather than going for well, no, he did the same thing, but this time he got siege mode instead of last time. I think he went a little bit faster, skipped the siege, and pushed out quicker. But in either case, Tucson, by the way, did get supply block at the dreaded 44-44. So there is maybe a little bit of a reason why this push isn't coming out quite as early as we would expect it from him.
Yeah, that could be it. The infamous 44-44. You know, while we're waiting for a little bit to build up here, I actually, it's funny, I used to build my extra depot too early. So it would be way too high of supply. It'd be like, what is it, like 32, 52 or something, whatever it ends up being when I do that. And then I realized I was making that mistake, so I adjusted, and now I am also blocking at 44-44 every single game.
It's the hardest thing, man, because you build that command center, you're like, oh, I don't need to build a supply depot, and then you kind of forget to kind of
Yeah.
build that rhythm again of getting that supply depot out, and that's what happens. You get blocked at 44 out of 44, and it's every Terran's worst nightmare. I mean, if you were to do like a drinking stream, the best drinking thing to do would be just say, every time I get 44 blocked, just take a shot. You know, you'll be drunk after 5 games. You'll be drunk as a skunk, and after that.
Tucson going for a very early third CC, which I kind of like this this adjustment here. Is out on the map with these vultures. Gonna try and find a little bit of damage, but they're actually gonna get caught by these goons. We got goons below and goons circling around on the bridge, so it looks like these vultures gonna get blocked off, and this not gonna be great for Tucson. Our supply is gonna dip very low after these end up dying off.
Yeah, beautiful positioning and maneuvering here from Doodle here. Managed to kill 3 of those and kind of get a nice surround there by those Dragoons, and only lost 1 probe there. Did a really good probe micro drill onto that mineral patch so that the vultures couldn't target the probes there. But yeah, I agree. I like this adjustment. I do like the switch up here from Tucson. He's got to try something different maybe from last game, although, again, I thought that he had an advantage last game. So, but obviously this game stays a little bit different from last game, considering that he doesn't have that economic lead anymore.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for Tucson right now. Supply is very low, and our extra factories are pretty late coming down. We were kind of floating almost 1,000 minerals by the time we started adding extra factories, so our production's very light. And there is a chance, actually, that Doodle has a timing before production kicks in for Tucson that he can break this opening. And if he does that, I mean, Tucson's never going to be able to take us third from there.
Yeah, we don't see that Doodle adding more gates. Instead, he's actually taking a 4th base, knowing with the observers overhead there, seeing the factory count, seeing the CC, knows that Tucson, there's no chance in hell that Tucson's ever pushing across the map right now. And so he's just playing extremely, extremely greedy, getting that very quick 4th base up. And so Doodle's going to be in a fantastic position no matter what he's going to decide to do. He's probably still going to end up maxing out somewhere around 12 minutes or so once he gets the next gateway explosion, which is what he's starting to get to do right now. 5th and 6th gateway coming down. And yeah, we'll see. He's got a shuttle overhead with some zealots. Could maybe do a zealot bomb in here and clean up these tanks. There's not a lot of vulture support.
There's 0 vulture support, yeah.
Yep, but here we go. Vulture or zealots getting dropped right now. Here come the goons. This is a tight spot here.
Oh, we unsiege?
Just everything. Oh boy, this is gonna get really dangerous right now.
Yeah, we get an unsiege as the zealots drop on top, and now we have a bunch of unsiege tanks with a lot of goons barreling down on top of them. A lot of these tanks are going to go down, and even if Tucson holds, I mean, this army getting reset means he's never coming out on the map.
Yeah, this is, unfortunately, it's over. And, oh, no, GG, just leaves. That was so, unfortunately, just so sad what happened there. But that's something that Protoss do, man. Like, they scare you a little bit, make you unsiege our tanks, and then come at you with the Dragoons. And, really well done there by Doodle. I mean, I thought Doodle played that game really, really well. Had a really good strategy, good response. And, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations to Doodle. Going to win this series 2-0 and join our boy Kavapu in the round of 16. Okay. We will move to... What I put in the title? What are we doing?
I think it was...
Miracle and Raz.
Yeah, we're doing the PvP first and seeing how we're doing from there.
Yeah. This is nice. You talk a lot of... My voice is recovering during the series.
That's what I'm here for, man. That's why I make a good team.
Exactly. And you're just a good contrast to my complete and total monotone voice.
Hey, I mean, I think honestly casting, you kind of need that, right? You got to have the guy as kind of the hype man and the one guy who's kind of in the shadows just analyzing everything, and that's sort of what we do. That's kind of what a good duo is supposed to, I think, at least in casting.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good thing to have one person kind of take the reins sometimes, and for certain moments do a lot of yelling.
Yeah, so I'm good at yapping. You know me.
you add that energy to it, you know. It's a good thing. When I cast, people fall asleep. It's not good. I actually had someone tell me that before, that they love turning my cast on when they go to bed.
Oh, that's awful. Oh man. Yeah, man. I'll just yap a little bit, and that'll wake people right up. So.
All right. All right, guys, we're jumping into our next series of Raz versus Moon. Raz, a very strong high A, low S, but hits S pretty regularly on the ladder when he's laddering. Miracle, aka Moon. I haven't seen him play a whole lot. I've never seen him play PvP, so I have no idea what to expect. But I will say one thing that I know when it comes to PvP, sometimes skill level kind of doesn't matter as much as it might in some other matchups. So there are a lot of build order wins. There's a lot of kind of crazy, chaotic things that can happen in this matchup. So I always say PvP is kind of any man's game. Obviously, that's not completely true. I mean, you look at like someone like Bonnet who has a really high PvP win rate, right? So there is obviously a lot of skill that does matter. But I also beat DeWalt, so there's a problem there.
Yeah. That's sort of, the more I've kind of understood this game, the more I realize that PvP and ZVZ are pretty much the same thing. Honestly, in terms of mirror matchups, they're both knife fights, right? Like, ZVZ is a little bit more, there's a little less damage output because the Lings and the Mutas, have a little bit less raw damage, but higher DPS. Whereas in PvP, goons, they shoot a little bit slower, but they've got really high damage. And also Reavers, man, are just like these bazookas in the back line there. But, if they get sniped, you don't have that bazooka anymore behind you. So it's just, it's pretty much two different forms of a knife fight.
Okay, both players going for the 10-12, which is funny because there's a lot of high-level players that will tell me that 10-12 is a bad build. But I still see it all the time, at least in the foreign scene. It's a reliable build in the foreign scene. Maybe at the pro level it's terrible, but at our level, I think it's actually a pretty good build. It has a lot of pivots that it can go into.
Yeah, I've actually got to agree with you. When I picked up Protoss last CPL and I was trying to learn more PvP and people were talking about the 10-12, I also kind of shrugged it off and said, yeah, there's no way this is a real build, right? Like, just get goons out micro. And then I played against it a couple times, lost like 3 probes the first time I played against it. I was like, oh, wait, it's kind of okay. As you said, there's a lot of different variations as a pivot off of the first 3 zealots. You can go into a fast expand. You can go into just add a third gateway and just go into pure goon. You can do like a sneaky tech strategy, whatever you want to do. And there's a lot. And I think that's why a lot of the foreigners really like it, because it gives you so many different options compared to maybe going for a 1-gate tech. If your opponent's going 1-gate tech, they don't really have much else after that. They're going to Reaver probably or some kind of strategy, kind of pigeonholed into it.
Yeah, looks like Raz is going to go for the continued Zealot production, whereas Moon is going into the Dragoons. And oh my god, 1 Zealot probe actually getting up the ramp behind Raz, which is going to be pretty painful. And then Moon, seeing this coming, can now just play defensive. He can build this extra Zealot, which is what we see. And Raz, oh my god, he gets 3 probes trapped here with this pylon block as well. I mean, this is already super Moon favored. He's going to kill a couple probes. I mean, he's up 3 workers already with the tech advantage. Easily going to be able to defend. Another probe going to go down.
Oh, man.
And yeah, just kind of a disaster start for Raz right now. And this is kind of what I was talking about. Something kind of weird can happen, and then suddenly PvP doesn't seem so fair anymore.
Yep, and a really nice health position here at the top of the ramp here from Moon. This is really, really good. He's got that one slightly injured Zealot, but he's just going to hold it back, maybe like a half pixel back from the full health Zealots. And yeah, Raz not going to get anything done here. He's going to continue to go into Zealots, man. He's got another rally of Zealots coming out here. But Moon's doing a really good job of kind of knowing exactly how many Zealots to make here. Meanwhile, he is starting to get the tech up, getting Cybernetics core, and Raz is trying to find something, and that's why he's going for the Nexus. No gas, just going mass Zealot Nexus. Almost feels like a PvZ.
Yeah, this is typically, if you continue Zealot production, you usually see a Nexus behind it, like Nexus Forge, but unfortunately for Raz, he did take some damage. And being down 4 workers right now is going to have to go for kind of a catch-up mechanic, is going to go for this Nexus anyway. Does lose 1 Zealot here. Does have the Zealot advantage, but he's a little bit bruised up, and Moon just going to be able to retreat up the ramp and hold up there. Surprisingly, we didn't start Goons yet. He's actually continuing Zealots, which surprises me. So I was about to say we're probably going to see a Citadel then, and that's exactly what we see.
Oh man, Raz bringing probes here to try to mine out that mineral patch, but Moon did a really good job there killing off that first probe. So now there's no chance that this mineral patch is going to get mined out here. The other probe is going to try to get over here. He's got a nice little spot there to mine it a little bit, but again, unfortunately for him, It's just it needs 2 mineral trips
Yeah.
there to open it up. And here we go, a little bit of another skirmish here, and again, not a great fight there from Raz. Moon is gonna be able to push back this bruised and heavily damaged Zealot force here. Oh, and one Zealot might even get trapped here. It looks like it's gonna be able to barely get out without taking a lot of shots on the way out of the door.
Yeah, things looking pretty dire for Raz. I mean, his Nexus finishes at least. We have the Forge. We're gonna need to see some cannons come down though, because we're behind in Zealots, kind of. I mean, we just had a few more pops, so he actually has enough Zealots, but his Zealots are very bruised. So even though he has the Zealot lead, he actually could end up losing this fight. Gonna try and run one Zealot around just to be sneaky and annoying, maybe hope to get some information. We have the Templar Archives on the way, but we do have those cannons coming down, so the DT not gonna be able to get any value, potentially. And yeah, these Zealots are gonna get chased off from Raz.
Yeah, Raz actually getting a nice surround there. Might even pick up that one last Zealot. No, it's going to get away with 1 HP, unfortunately. But that was a nice trade there from Raz. He does get the information that there is also a Photon Cannon there. So the DT's, unfortunately, probably not the best play now for him. Unfortunately, he's already got the Archives out, so he might as well just make the DTs, right? And then expand behind it. But yeah, 2 cannons now going to be done here for Raz by the time those DTs get there. He may try to soak up damage while sneaking the DTs by. That could be a possibility right now, but even a 3rd cannon going down, and plus it's a very narrow way around these cannons so far. So I don't see it happening. The DTs aren't even out yet, and he's going to try to come in here with these goons and 2 goons and a couple Zealots, and I just don't see a way for him to really kill this cannon.
Yeah, it's starting to actually look pretty good for Raz. I mean, our second Nexus is up and running, pumping probes. We have our 3rd cannon going to come up. I can't imagine that DTs are going to be able to sneak in. They're actually just sitting at home anyway. Moon might actually double expand, looks like what we're going to get. Yep. So with the double expand, it's actually kind of nice for him, because Raz, while he is pretty strong on 2 bases right now, it's going to be a long time before he has observers coming out to punish this quick 3rd.
Yeah, and I actually really like this decision here to go for this this 3rd Nexus. Excuse me. Sneeze, man. My bad. But I really like this because the DTs are giving him map control, as you were saying, and there's no way for Raz to really do it. He knows that Raz is behind on technology because he went for that fast expansion, because he went for the cannons. There's no chance he's going to have a detection now for a very, very long time. And so this is actually the perfect response here. Maybe there's a chance he could have gone for a faster robotics facility and dropped the DTs instead into the main base where there's not really that much defense. But I really like this choice here. I think this is a perfect response.
Yeah, I think Moon's making this robo just for the observer at this point. If I were him, I would be getting a little bit nervous about potential DTs coming out from Raz. But yeah, we're going to see that robo and observatory on the way probably relatively soon. We are getting safety cannons from Raz as well to make sure he doesn't get DT dropped, or Reavers potentially even zoning that. So just a good defensive setup from Raz. Currently doesn't look too bad of a situation. I mean, he's only down 5 workers. I think we must have been cutting workers though, because it felt like we were even earlier, right? So he has been cutting workers a little bit. And
yeah,
I'm worried about
interesting.
I'm worried about this 3rd economy just kind of taking over the game in the next few minutes.
Yeah, I do too. And one other thing, by the way, is because of the fact that we do have this really fast Templar tech, is Moon getting Hydarian Amulet first? Did he research Storm yet? I didn't see Storm upgrade going, so he's just getting Templar energy first, which is a little bit curious to see. But actually, that leads into my point, which was I think that, maybe he gets a shuttle down because of how exposed these natural mineral lines are. He could get a lot of great damage with some storm drops behind the mineral line up on that high ground even. He can maybe get a couple Templar up there, or even just behind the minerals in general, because there's not really any area to put your goons or cannons to really defend that mineral line very well. Because if you build them there and they don't do anything, well, you just wasted 300 minerals to guard a spot that your opponent's not even trying to go for yet. So anyways, he does cancel the Hydarian Amulet and is now actually going for the Psionic Storm upgrade.
Okay.
So didn't notice that in time.
I was about to say, we're about to get some crazy min-maxing on our Templar energy. But yeah, like you said, and I agree 100%. This map definitely leans towards drop harass on these naturals. Same with TVP, right? Like, even lurkers up there can hit a few of those mineral patches, so definitely can be very annoying. And yeah, there's no efficient way for Protoss to stop the storm drops, because the thing is, you got this high ground where the storm drops could go down, but they also could just go into this opening behind the natural as well. So there's so much surface area for drops that's very hard to defend and get to. Making cannons or leaving goons, I mean, you have so much space to cover. So yeah, I think storm drops would be crazy strong on this map.
Yep. Do you see the obs now coming out here? Quite a sizable army here for Raz coming out with the Observer. So the DTs are unfortunately having to back up a little bit and move out of the way for this massive army. And this is one of the problems here. Moon, he's got a big worker advantage. You can see here, plus 13, but he's even on supply, which means that his army count is actually much lower right now. The storm energy has not yet been fully charged up. Only 2 storms so far. We're going to see how this fight is going to go down between these 2 players.
Yeah, with only 1 cannon, these storms are going to have to be pretty amazing to hold on, but we do have second cannon finishing third behind that as well. A lot of the Zealots going to go down. We do have storms raining down on these goons, softening up a lot. And we're going to have a third storm here pretty soon, and I think with a good storm here, we're going to hold, but man, it's getting pretty close.
Oh, initially it was good, but the goons move forward here, and they're going to start picking off these cannons one by one. But there are so many extra additional goons coming down right now, and the Archon, that maybe they're going to buy some time for these next couple of Templar that just popped out to get enough energy here to get those next storms down right now. Oh, 5 more energy needed on these Templar. It's going to get really close right now. He's picking off all these Dragoons. The last Dragoon goes down here for Moon, and will these storms be perfect? Needs to be perfect right now. Pretty good storm down the first one there. Second storm, it was okay, but unfortunately just no more attacking units here for Moon to deal with this. Maybe is this going to be it here for Raz? Raz is getting quite a bit of damage done, but unfortunately the high ground there with the goons popping out means that this push will at least be held, but maybe before taking some damage here.
Yeah, I think this natural is going to go down. Potentially, it's getting pretty close. We still have more goons here for Raz than Moon has, but obviously we are closer to Moon's reinforcements. So with the next round of goons coming out, he actually might be able to hold this, and if he keeps this Nexus, his lead's going to be absolutely huge economically. And we see him taking a pretty big supply lead now. I know a lot of it's in workers, but we're definitely catching up on army.
Yeah, Army is especially with the defender's advantage, it's definitely, I would say, even at this point in terms of this fight here at his natural. Raz has got to run these units all the way across the map. So defender's advantage kicking in. He's got even more gateways, by the way, 8 gateways versus 6. So he's even got the production advantage right now because of that third base. And he's going to be able to hold. He's going to maintain the Nexus as well. So really, really well done there by Moon. He's going to rally those probes back over. There is a probe that has scouted 12 o'clock expansion right now for Raz. So he knows what he's been dealing with this entire time. And he's also expanding over to the top right-hand base, kind of a little sneaky base there, which happens a lot in PvP, honestly. When you're behind, man, just make a proxy base.
Yeah, just do something annoying. It's the Protoss way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, this DT tracking this goon army is going to get picked off, but Moon going to smartly get into a pretty good position. Raz walking in a straight line into this army. Part of Moon's goons even getting on the high ground, and it looks like he should be able to defend this pretty easily. And with this amount of units coming out for Moon, I just feel like Raz is going to be too far behind. It's almost impossible to catch up. I mean, our third base across the map, just about halfway done. We're down 40 supply in a mirror matchup. And not only that, but Moon even has the tech advantage.
Yeah, he's got the tech advantage. Both players are researching those leg upgrades right now, but unfortunately for Raz, he didn't have the Templar Archives, which means that there's going to be a big advantage for Storm coming out here. They both skipped Reavers, went straight into kind of like the Zealot Goon army composition. Right now, Raz is trying to rely purely on Goon, but we all know how Goon versus Zealot Goon does, because it's just too difficult to micro in these bigger fights against those speed loss that are going to crashing down onto your own Dragoon lines, kind of like in Terran versus Protoss. You know, if you don't have enough Vultures to kind of body block for your own siege tanks, those Zealots get on top of you real fast.
Yeah, I just don't see much way back in for Raz. Like, maybe we can get the storm drops and get some amazing storm drops of our own. Maybe there's some comeback potential there. I mean, he's not like at an unplayable supply, but we see that 20 worker lead. Like, that's just so much economy for Miracle.
Yeah, Moon even going to scout this pin and base. He was even thinking about taking a 4th base here, and he's going to see it and maybe move just a couple Zealots over there to kind of start harassing it. So Raz is probably going to have to give up that base, even cancel all the probes that we're making in the Nexus and running those probes away right now already.
Painful.
So yeah, it's painful. I mean, he invested 700 minerals here in the gas. The pile on the Nexus is going to get basically nothing out of it. I mean, he made a probe, basically. That was it.
Yeah, we're going to try and take this 3 o'clock expansion, which is good. I mean, this is a good defensive position for Raz on this base. I will say it seems like it's kind of hard for them to kill each other, at least, especially once storms are coming out for both players. Just needs to play to deny expansion, so I guess Moon's probably going to have to continue expanding and just play a bit of a longer game. I mean, once cannons get up with Templar on this ramp at 3 o'clock, it just feels like he's never going to be able to break that, no matter what his supply lead is.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised that neither player has gone for a shuttle, maybe just get some shuttle storm drops down, because that is maybe one of his. Oh, he does have a shuttle actually. Okay, he's loading a couple zealots. Maybe he might get some Templar in there soon. But I was gonna say that might be his ticket back into this game. If he can get a really solid storm drop in at some point and just wipe out a probe line, that could be how he can claw his way and stabilize in a way that he can later on and after a few more macro cycles fight against Moon's army. But Moon's army right now is so strong. 60 supply lead in a mirror matchup. I mean, God, how do you come back against this?
Moon playing Protoss. It's Miracle. It's a Latin American player. I know it's a little bit confusing.
We're just calling it Moon for now.
Yeah. Alright, we do have a shuttle drop coming up here, and Moon has nothing, or Miracle, whatever, has nothing to spot for this drop, so here we go. This is kind of what we're talking about.
There it is. Big one. He got like 15 probes there, I think. So really nicely done. That's one step in terms of trying to come back in this game. He's got to do that at least one more time, maybe even 2 more times before he can really completely stabilize in this game. But now obviously the probe count went from maybe a 20 probe lead to only now a 7 probe lead. But here we go. Speed leg upgrades are done right now, and Miracle might just try to crash his army into this. But it's a choke, and it's really difficult with all these storms out here.
Yeah, even with a 50 supply lead, right? It's so hard to push into this position. Looks like we might be leading with the Templar for storms, which is actually something you see pretty often. Even gonna storm the side Templar.
He storming the Templar, but didn't kill the Templar. Oh, Templar here from Miracle coming out here a little bit and getting caught. But unfortunately, oh man, there's so many units here. But really beautiful storm here from Raz. He's holding on for dear life at the moment right now. Killed off another Templar with some of the storm. But oh, here come the Zealot reinforcement with Archons streaming in after kind of soaking up a lot of damage with these Dragoons. And yeah, there's just too many units, man. It's too much.
GG. Miracle actually going to take the first game against Raz. And yeah, pretty impressive. Pretty crazy game for a PvP.
Yeah, as you said, man, it's PvP. Anyone can win a PvP. That's kind of how that game went down. And I gotta give massive props to Miracle there. Miracle, I think, reacted really well, had the exact right kind of ideas to deal with whatever Raz was doing that entire game. I mean, he basically read him like a book. 1 Zealot ran by, got 2 probe kills. He made the extra Zealots to stop the 3 initial push from Raz. Double expanded after realizing his DT wasn't going to be able to do anything. I mean, everything was so smart from him.
Yep, very well played. Good to see. Okay. Doing good. We're knocking these out. Only about 60 to go.
Yeah. So far, so good. All these games have been really entertaining. Pretty good games.
Yeah. Miracle taking this. What map are we on? Eclipse?
Eclipse.
Okay. Alright, coming to game 2 of Raz versus Miracle. Miracle up 1-0, going to be playing on Eclipse. Raz going for a very early scout, so it looks like we're going to get some proxy gateway shenanigans, maybe even building in his base.
Yeah, a 2-player map. Could be Horror Gates, although I think that the timing of this probe is not going to be in time to do a Horror Gate, maybe. But we'll see. It could be.
Could be.
He hasn't built a pylon yet, so hasn't done it quite yet.
Yeah, it's either in his natural or in his mineral line. We're going to find out. Looks like it's going to be right outside the natural.
Yep, it's going to be right in your face 2-gate, 9-9 probably.
In your face, 9-9. We are playing PvP, boys.
Yeah. Typical PvP right here. I mean, Raz did lose their first game, so maybe he's thinking, oh man, let me just cheese this guy, get a game back, and then we'll go to a map that it's going to be a little bit more advantageous for a normal standard game here. We'll see if he goes for a 10-12, but oh man, this probe scout coming out here, so it is going to be a 10-12 most likely. Does see the gateway. Raz must be thinking like, god damn it, like how did he sensed the probe out so early.
Yeah, not a great start for Raz. A little bit painful. Definitely, this can favor the defender with a good micro, and then, yeah, you just have the better economy. So as long as you defend well, you're just going to have a huge economic lead.
Yep, Raz is looking for this Manor Pylon coming in here, but Miracle's doing a pretty good job of kind of glitching this probe out a little bit, making sure that the Pylon doesn't go down. The second gateway has gone down as well now here for Miracle, so he's in a pretty good spot here. Only 1 gate versus 2 gate, and no gas follow-up here from Raz either, so there's not going to be a tech advantage for him either, you know, doing some weird, like, forward gate tech stuff. But, yeah, he's in a really bad spot, let's just put it this way.
Yeah, we're just going for that single zealot. Like you said, we can't get our Menor pylons. We even see the defensive pylon coming down from Moon now, so it doesn't have to worry about it. It does disrupt the mining just a little bit, but obviously you're a lot safer, and you don't have to stop. You don't have to keep taking off of the minerals to block the pylon. So it's a minor disruption for a lot of convenience. And yeah, first zealot going to come out and go straight to this ramp and try to block, and it does get in position. We see that. Oh. Actually, a little bit off position, so the Zealot is going to get in. 1 probe going to go down immediately. Very good micro.
Really nicely there from Raz. He's actually got a worker advantage right now by 1. He's been continuously making probes behind this. And yeah, I mean, this will get shut down eventually, but losing that 1 probe, it's not going to hurt that bad per se, but still... Oh, doesn't want to lose the second probe. Oh, man. Okay, this is starting to turn out a little bit worse than what we expect. Losing just even 2 probes already.
Yeah, losing even a 3rd probe goes down now. I mean, now Miracle's way behind. We're down 4 workers. We are sending 1 zealot straight across the map. Okay, Raz is building a zealot, so they have noticed, and he's just going to get a zealot on the ramp to defend that 3rd zealot coming out in the base from Miracle. But having a hard time cleaning this up. Okay, there's
almost went through the Nexus there to get all the way through. That would have been crazy. But yeah, I mean, this, again, like I said, this gets cleaned up eventually, but man, the fact that Raz even took a worker count advantage there is really telling here. I think, you know, Miracle might be a little bit, you know, kicking himself right now for even letting this stuff happen. This one Zealot's going to try to get a probe, but no, Raz is doing a really good job with this micro here, and the Zealot on Zealot battle back at Raz's own base right now. Miracle trying to get some counterattack damage.
Yeah, Raz is going to lose this fight because of the random attack speed RNG. I'm pretty sure he got the first hit, but yeah, Probe's gonna finish it up right after anyway, so not that big of a deal. And I mean, Moon doesn't even, he's just now starting his gas. We have the Cyber Core done for Raz, and even having a Goon coming out at the natural.
Yeah, Goon at the natural is going to be interesting. He's going to be able to micro it around, but with so much happening on both sides of the map, there's like 2 fronts that are going down at each other's bases. Microing that Goon is going to be really, really, really difficult. He might just bring it back here. But no, he's rallied inside the base. He's going to have to try to micro this Goon around while doing everything. I mean, this is going to be like really stressful for Raz right now, trying to do everything all at once.
Yeah, in an ideal world, yes, this is good, but trying to micro all of this at once, because the Zealots at his base don't have to be microed. Miracle can just A-move this stuff and walk up the ramp. Trying to micro those Goon while defending at the same time against all these Zealots is an absolute nightmare scenario for Raz.
Yeah, I don't see how he holds this, man. 3 Zealots right now. He's got to micro 2 Goons separately at once. I mean, this is the nightmare. He's even rallied another Goon back into the base right now. He might get some damage down with that Goon. He's not even targeting any probes right now, though. And yeah, the probes are kind of coming off the line right now. Miracle's back to that work advantage now because he's been able to continuously make probes this entire time, whereas Raz kind of had to cut in order to get these gateways up back at home to defend. Miracle making a little bit of a stake here. He's got 3 Zealots kind of in the middle of the map doing absolutely nothing. But again, there's just too much stuff going down for Raz.
Yeah, it does get a good drill on the Zealot, actually going to kill it with those probes, so that's nice. We do have 4 Dragoons. So the Goon count's pretty nice. I mean, he actually has enough Goons now that he can micro this pretty well. We don't have range, though, of course. It is just kind of barely started. But with good micro, should be able to pick all these Zealots off without taking much damage.
Yeah, he's actually, I think, managing to stabilize a little bit. He's down in economy, obviously, but with those 2 gateways back at home, he's going to be able to continue that Dragoon production once that pylon finishes. But man, as Zealot does slip by, he's going to have to micro these probes a little bit here.
Yeah, really annoying for Raz, actually, because that 1 Zealot on the ramp dodged so many shots, which allows the Zealot to get up here and disrupt mining again. So even though he didn't lose any probes, losing mining like that is actually really painful in this scenario. And all just because of bad luck, really. So kind of another annoying moment for Raz. More Zealots just kind of streaming randomly across the map for Miracle. Going up to 4 gate now, going full Protoss in response to Raz going full Protoss.
Yep, he's gonna have that gateway advantage here. He needs to make up that Dragoon count right now. Raz is at 4, going up to 5 and 6 very soon here. And now Raz is kind of trying to pivot into like a 2-gate robo kind of style of a game here. Whereas, Miracle does know that there's nothing sneaky coming out, so he knows he can just skip the robotics facility, go into this 4-gate Goon and try to make up the count here. Also, holding the high ground is gonna be really strong for him. I don't see a way for Raz to really get up this ramp, especially with the 3 Zealots there as well.
Yeah, Raz going into a robo, so he might have been thinking Observer if he needs it, or he can just go into Reaver from here. When he sees the goons, he probably feels a bit more comfortable that it's not going to be DT anytime soon, especially when he sees more goons coming out, because he knows that Miracle's gas was pretty late. So if he's reading the situation, he should know that very unlikely that it's going to be DT. But we do have this Zealot that ran around the map, getting back into the mineral line of Raz, just again disrupting the mining and being so annoying all the time.
Yeah, getting a probe kill there as well. Raz down to 20 probes now. And man, the Zealot is continuously getting some work done. Oh, gets another probe. Yeah, that's really smart from him. He's got those leftover Zealots, from the initial opening. He might as well use them. And he's been using them really, really effectively here. Raz even pulling his goons back. Raz was doing some nice, cute micro tricks here, hold positioning the goons at the bottom of the ramp and then moving one goon up to get vision to kind of start getting pot shots on these Zealots. But unfortunately for him, with the economic difference there, he's going to start falling behind in that goon count eventually because Miracle is just going to be able to continuously pump these goons out of these 4 gateways nonstop.
Yeah, he did get a pretty big supply block there, so it's at least going to slow down the next round of goons. But I mean, we have 4 goons in production. He's probably just going to cut workers and all in from here. Raz going to be working on replacing his probes while he's getting all in from Moon. And I am worried that Raz might actually just die to this push.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if he holds the high ground, I think he'll be fine. It's not ideal, obviously. I don't think he'll be able to get out. He won't be able to get out of his base for a very long time. He is going to Reaver. Did go for the observatory first, which again is just not great. He's even trying to put a probe out here maybe to secure this expansion, but I doubt it just because he's going to be in such a low goon count position compared to his opponent here.
Yeah, and I love this expansion from Moon. He's going to have so many goons. He's just going to try to use it to contain Raz and deny an expansion. But Raz does have a lot of goons, so he is with a decent defensive setup. We do have 3 Zealots, though, to tank for the goons, so when these extra goons show up, there's a chance that Miracle can actually break this position. If he manages to break this and hold the ramp, then it's just going to be game over because we have this Nexus on the way. And I love that Moon didn't go for any detection because he did sneak that Zealot in, and he saw the tech from Raz, so just being pretty much perfectly optimizing his response, I think.
Yeah, Miracle doing a really good job here. Hold position these goons just at the pylon range there. So the goons, if Raz wants to move forward, would have had to push past the pylon and their AI would have been bugged. So actually his pylon turning out to be better for Miracle than for Raz. Now Raz even getting supply blocked. And now he's going to hold the ball on the ramp. And I think that this game might be slowly slipping away here from Raz. I mean, he's got the Reaver. He can get some pot shots. But if the Reaver even gets a little bit too far out of position here, I mean, the goons might just jump on it and eat it. Oh, and here we go. No, stuck. Door's stuck. The Reaver's going to go down. I can even see a scrim shot. Oh, no. Door's stuck.
Yeah, what a disaster for Raz. I mean, it's so hard to get down this ramp. And those goons coming up behind the Reaver and just kind of trapping it there. Yeah, not great for Raz. Nexus going to finish for Moon. And now we have to make another Reaver and try again. And, God, there's so many goons down here at the bottom of the ramp, though. It's so hard for Raz to get out now.
Yeah, oh man, he's gonna try to push up here. I mean, I don't think he needs to do this. He can just continue to hold the low ground here, which I think he's gonna retreat and just hold the low ground. Just sack a couple Zealots, maybe to see what's up there at the top of the ramp. Yeah, wow. I mean, that was like, I know the ramps are intended to be the same size, but I always feel like playing on this ramp here, on this like more kind of what is it, like rustic looking ramp is way smaller than playing on like the other terrain ramp. I don't know. That's just my personal feeling of the situation. But I know they're probably the same size, but it just mentality wise, they're like, I feel like this ramp is smaller.
No, I kind of know what you mean. For me, it's an angle thing, right? When I'm like fighting down, it feels worse sometimes than fighting like left or right, especially fighting up, right? And which actually is a thing, unironically. Fighting up actually favors the player above because they actually have better vision. Units see further down than they do up. Did you realize? Did you ever know that?
I did not know that. That is a good information to have.
Yeah, for instance, in TVT, you can spot tanks below you with tanks before they can see you.
Ah, interesting. That is cool. That'll be useful. That'll be useful for my TVTs from now on. I'll make sure I take the top of the position there.
Yeah, and I think that's also true left to right as well. But decent Reaver micro, this time getting some shots. I mean, it is only one tap away, did go down to 2 HP, but kind of doing the best that he can with what he's got, which unfortunately is not very much. Gonna get our shuttle out for this 2 HP Reaver now, and I think Raz is he's gonna try to come down here, and he might just get swallowed up and end up quitting the game.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some DTs out here right now, and unfortunately for Miracle, his obs are back home at his base. He's going to try to actually run a DT by. He's going to try to come out here, but again, that Reaver is at like 1 HP, so we'll see if it even gets a Scarab Shot. Raz is even playing so scared, he doesn't want to lose that Reaver right now. Oh, unloads and gets immediately sniped down here. So many Dragoons right now out here. He's got like over a control group, whereas Raz has got like 4 left right now. He's got a DT to hold the top of the ramp, and he's got 1 DT running across. Maybe he thinks he can kill like, all of the probes there if he skipped out on the observatory, but unfortunately that did not happen. There is an observer overhead, and yeah, Goons are just gonna fall back to not die to these DTs. But this nice position there from Goon as well.
And Raz is gonna GG, and Miracle gonna take it 2-0. All 2 zeros so far.
Yeah. Once again, very well played there by Miracle. Raz got like a little unlucky there, obviously, with that very early scout, but I think that Miracle was also planning on that 10-12 again on a 2-player map, and sends that probe scout out.
All right, that's 3 down, 13 to go.
Quite the undertaking for sure.
How you feeling? You ready for another one?
Yeah, man, let's go.
Let's go, boys.
Couple 2-0s, we can definitely continue.
Yeah, it's gone relatively good pace so far. All right, you guys can enjoy a black screen. And next we have Squizen versus Hula Baloo. Oh, I don't have it in the map pack. Give me 1 second, guys.
What's the race of these? I think Hullablue's a Zerg, right?
Hula Baloo's Zerg, and Squizen's normally a Protoss, but he actually, I believe, played Terran for this series.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that'll be pretty interesting.
Yeah, he's been very seriously playing Terran on the ladder recently. Okay, just give me like 2 minutes, guys. I forgot to download this and add it to the pack.
Shake my head.
Unbelievable. I sure wish I had a waiting screen so it wasn't just pure darkness for my viewers.
You can put it on your face.
Yeah, good. Could, but won't. Then unzip. Why? Okay, and then get to reopen this. There we go. Alright, boys, we got a TVZ next.
TVZ. It's a good matchup. One of my favorites to watch. Actually, probably is my favorite to watch.
Yeah, I might actually agree with that. If this is how he does his name. I like TVZ, TVP both. The only reason I'm maybe a little bit light on the TVP is because I've just seen so much of it. Get out.
It doesn't even say anything, it just leaves it.
Oh, Kava. Alright. Hey, what's up, Sarah? We got our first non-TVP series. Okay. Alright, so hopping into game 1 of this series, we got Squizen versus Hula Baloo. Squizen, normally a high A, low S Protoss player, has been playing Terran very seriously on the ladder lately. Not quite able to hit A, but he's been getting close a few times. And his opponent, Hula Baloo, I've seen very little of him, but the little bit that I have seen, he's a pretty strong A rank Zerg. I want to say he's even been S, but I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Yeah, I don't know that much about these two players, to be quite honest with you. So your guess is as good as mine. Yeah, I honestly have never seen these two players play before. I know they joined the server, but that's about it.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, don't really have a whole lot to say about them since I have not seen very much of them. I only played Hula Baloo, I think, once. Hit him on the ladder and managed to take him out myself, but kind of got lucky with some early Marine shenanigans. Like I said, I've never seen Squizen play TVZ. Probably wants to play relatively standard from the bit that I've seen since he has been trying to hit A rank, so we'll keep an eye on how he wants to play this series.
Yeah. Hula Baloo looks like he's actually going for a 12-12. Very interesting. I don't really see Zergs do this that often these days. 12 hatch, made another drone. Oh, going to 13. Is he going 13 hatch? Or 3 hatch before pool?
Oh, yeah, interesting. He may actually be going for some greedy 3 hatch play.
Oh my god, he's going for the third base 3 hatch, not even the in-base 3 hatch. This is interesting play here from Hula Baloo. Maybe thinking that Squizen is trying to play really, really standard, and therefore he can get away with this kind of style of play.
Yeah, this is kind of what we were talking about, that if you're gonna do something weird or crazy, game 1 is kind of the best game to do it a lot of times. And yeah, this is definitely pretty weird and crazy. And Squizen, again, not being a normal Terran player, might not have any idea about how to respond to this.
Yeah, and honestly, so I'm thinking here, obviously on a map like Metropolis, and by the way, we should even talk about the map, especially in this matchup, where the mains are so kind of spread out and wide open, where metas are really good on this map. But based upon the layout of these, oh, the drone lets the SCV by, unfortunately. But based upon the layout that Hula Baloo's kind of got his 3 bases, I honestly think lurkers are really good here because he only needs to hold sort of the choke point outside of his natural, that little area where it kind of connects to the third base, and then also hold the top of the third base ramp. And so he's not like he's holding that many spots if he wants to go for lurker potentially, or even just go for Muta Link, right? Because like his bases are so close together, and especially with this spawn location, it's really defensive.
Yeah, I actually 100% agree. I think that's a pretty valid point. Kind of curious to see how Hula Baloo will play this out, because I pretty much never see 3 hatch before pull. And yeah, we see 3 Marines coming across the map, but the pull is done. We have 4 Lings on the way, 6 Lings on the way even. And just gonna pull these drones, and this honestly is completely fine. Like, getting our mining disrupted with this kind of opener is completely fine. Even killing the SCV, which is pretty good for Hula Baloo.
Yeah, actually, you know, not a bad take there. Just making a bunch of Lings right now to make sure that these 3 Marines can't do anything. He might even chase them down here. We'll see. Lings are slightly faster than these Marines. He's even going for Ling speed, not even going for layer first here after these initial Lings. So maybe he can go through like a 3 hatch Ling flood here, and actually might be able to catch these Marines out here right now. The Lings are starting to get on top of them a little bit. Uh-oh, this is gonna be really bad here for Squizen if these Lings can catch these Marines.
Yeah, it does bring 3 more Marines out from his natural with some SCVs to try to help with the body blocking, so...
What micro there from Squizen. This is a single Marine here, but the Lings will be able to get into the base here. Only 1 Rax also is blinking right now. No second Rax at all. And so the Lings will be able to scout some information out here, maybe get a couple SCV kills. We'll see. But so far, really well done by Squizen. Didn't lose a single Marine there. That's incredible micro.
Yeah, I actually can't believe how well that went for Squizen. So this is pretty good, because once Squizen cleans this up, there's actually pressure on Hula Baloo to have to remake these Lings. Does manage to get 1 Marine with 1 Ling left over, going Hydra done with the layer, so it is going to be that lurker that you were talking about. And it's going to be really fast lurker. Straight into the eBay from Squizen, doesn't know yet We do have the double scanners coming down, so he should be able to get that tech before he makes any turrets or anything like that. So that will be good for him at least, and we're gonna get that suck-in coming down. Never got confirmation on the third as Squizen. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he should know. I think. Oh, scans do go down here. Let's see where they were at the main. Okay, the second one, the naturals. Okay, he does see the Hydra Den, so he knows that it's gonna be the Lurker first. Now he doesn't know, but he should know that there is a third base on the map based upon the timing that he saw. I mean, he did move those 3 Marines down really early, and so I think he should have an idea of what to do in this position, and he knows what's going on here. But we'll see. I mean, if he drops two more bunkers at the front, then he'll probably think it's a 2-hash Lurker. But so far, no overreaction from Squizen just yet. So pretty good from him.
I don't want to be at backseat too much, but I would have loved if Hula Blue had put his tech down at his third.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, honestly. I think that would have been so smart for him because he had enough creep, and he's got a lot of room actually at that third base.
Exactly. It would have been very confusing for Squizen because then you don't know, like, hey, is this late tech or is he like, what's going on here, right? Yeah, would have loved to see that, but gonna push out with his bio. Only 1 medic here, so these 2 Sunkens should be able to hold relatively simple with these Lings if he goes for it. And yeah, we have Lurker Aspect almost done, but we currently have no Hydra. We're just making pure Ling with Lurker Aspect finishing up.
Yeah, kind of interesting here from Hullabaloo, not making any Hydras, but maybe he goes for a Ling counterattack here. There's not actually that much bio back at home, actually. Mostly medics right now, more medics than Marines, so these Lings could get in here and maybe get some damage down. Gotta be a little bit careful here for Squizen. The rally point is actually quite far out. Normally, I would expect the rally point to be a little more back, closer to your bunker and closer to the ramp to hold it.
Yeah, true. But we do at least get these Marines inside. Ling's not going to go for this counterattack. Kind of dogging these Marines. I mean, we made a lot of Zerglings, so we're going to need to get some value out of it. He is going to pounce on top of this bio and clean pretty much all of it up. I'm going to even try to get this medic on the way out. So pretty decent cleanup for Hullabaloo. Does keep a lot of his Lings alive. Evo Chamber coming down. Lurkers finally building here for Hullabaloo. We got this really fast third, but we are only just now using pretty much any mining. We just have 3 on the gas at the moment. Our drone count's actually not as high as you would expect it to be with a 3-hatch before full opener.
Yeah, he's made so many Lings here, and yeah, he did eat that smaller bio ball out there at the front there, so it's not that bad, and especially because it's gonna be Lurker, he can maybe do some stop Lurker tricks around the map, maybe scare Squizen from trying to move out until he can get vessels out. And Squizen is getting Siege Tank out right now. He's even going into double starport after the tank, so I don't know if he can afford this right now. He's only got 1 guy on his natural gas as well, so definitely cannot afford double starport worth of science vessels with tanks.
Yeah,
so he's got to fix that a little bit right now. But yeah, it is not the worst position to be in if you're Squizen because of the fact that, as you said, there weren't that many drones being built, and so the third base is just now getting saturated. Finally, 30 drones right now. There is also a Spire follow-up, though, from Hullabaloo, so maybe we might see a tech switch to Mutas here. No turrets, which is... And Terrans hate this, by the way. You go Lurkers, you tech switch to Mutas, and they have no turrets out because it's like, why would I build turrets? I'm going against Lurkers.
Yeah, exactly. It can be pretty annoying to play against. It's a very similar thing that you sometimes see Zergs do in ZVP as well. But yeah, I was going to say pretty much the same thing for Squizen. He's actually pretty happy right now, right? Like, anytime you get to play where you get to skip turrets for this long, it feels pretty nice. But like you pointed out, a major thing is you cannot go for these early tanks with double starport. Typically, it's just going to be 1 factory, 1 starport when you do something like this, especially since we're going for double upgrades as well. So we're not going to have the gas to afford this at all. But I do like the tank response to Lurkers. You definitely don't want to commit to pure bio. Vessels, not the greatest at clearing up Lurkers until you have a certain vessel count. So it's a good pivot from Squizen, just not quite fully optimized. But that being said, I mean, supply looks pretty decent for him. Worker lead still pretty decent for him as well. And we'll see if we're going to go for this push. He kind of wants a vessel with him. We do have a vessel that's about halfway done right now.
Yeah, start another one. No irradiate, but against Lurkers, you don't really need a radiate that early because you're just going to use your tanks to clear out the Lurkers. Versus compared to Mutas, where you do want the irradiate to be able to kind of pressure that Mutaflock. Interesting, we're going to see the Lurker Hydra style here coming out from Hullabaloo. He's got the double Evo Chamber, the second Evo Chamber getting the +1 range attack upgrade, not the melee upgrade. Which is interesting because he's not got that great of a drone count. Because normally, if you want to play more of like a cost-efficient Zerg with Defiler and Swarm, you don't really need that many drones to do it. But with the Hydra Lurk style, typically you actually do want, kind of almost like a ZVP level of saturation on all of your bases. So the fact that he's kind of going into this style here without the drones necessary yet is a little bit curious to me. But I mean, we'll see how he does this. He's getting quite a few lurkers out right now. Might go for a big surround by the way that he's positioning his army.
Yeah, the Hydra Lurker style, definitely a very battle style Zerg, so you do want the economy so you can just keep fighting. And it is pretty normal, right, if you go for just 3 base style that you're playing Hydra Lurker, because you just don't have the gas that you would like to have for, like, Ultra Defiler, that kind of thing. But yeah, you still want a high drone count so you can pump less units. Only at 34 workers right now. And with these vessels and tanks coming out, it's going to be a little bit tough. Getting a snipe on these vessels would be nice, but I mean, there's 2 vessels here as well.
He's not looping around with the units from behind right now. He's kind of disconnected right now with his army. Unfortunately for him, also the Scourge do go down without even landing a single shot there onto the vessels. So this is doing really good from Squizzer right now. He's kind of getting to a really good position here, but maybe Hullabaloo is trying to just bait him in little by little and finally get those 5 lurkers to wrap around here. And that's kind of what he's starting to go for right now. Tanks unsiege, they're moving out. I think he's caught the lurkers there from behind, but he's kind of getting himself stuck in a little bit of position here. Will we see Hullabaloo pull the trigger?
Yeah, we're about to see a big flank attempt from Hullabaloo, I believe. And it's pretty much going to come down to this fight. We actually are just burrowing in the attack path. But we need to be a little bit careful. These tanks are just going to continue getting value until we fight it. Yeah, there you see one lurker goes down. But some bio does get pulled forward. A lot of it does get picked off by these lurkers. And there's a lot of reinforcements at home for Squizm. And here we go.
Yo, here we go, man. Here's the massive surround. Good stims coming out from the Marines here. Marines are trying to split up as much as possible. So many lurkers killing off all of the Marines. There we go. That was the surround that Hullabaloo was looking for this entire time. And at least the vessels get out alive. There's one vessel left with two more Hydra shots on it. It's trying to flee as quickly as possible. And yeah, I mean, Squizin, that's kind of what happens, you know, if your opponent gets so many lurkers like that, you gotta kind of not be able to get baited in like that and get surrounded, which unfortunately ended up happening.
Yeah, when you're against that lurker style, and if you had been scanning and saw that the Defiler Mountain was very far away, you can take your time, right? You just keep building tanks, keep reinforcing, take your time to slow push and reinforce your position over and over again, because he's the one on the timer, you're not in a hurry. But yeah, it did push a little bit too far forward, didn't reinforce for a very long time, and then ended up getting swallowed up by this lurker flank.
Yeah, so many lurkers out right now. Hullabaloo is also stopping this third base from going down here at the 9 o'clock. Meanwhile, taking a 4th gas of his own now at the bottom right natural. So he's in a pretty solid position. But again, that drone count is kind of low because normally at this position, you'd probably have like 6 hatcheries at this point. He's only got 4 hatcheries because his drone saturation is just not it right now. Trying to come forward, does manage to snipe off that tank over at the front there at the natural of Squizin. Squizin's macro is starting to slip a little bit. Normally, you know, when you get to full saturation on these 2 bases, you want to get up to like, you know, 8, 9 barracks. He's still sitting on the 5 barracks, so maybe he doesn't know kind of the exact number of barracks yet you need in TVZ when you get to this position.
Yeah, the CC got canceled at 9 o'clock, and we have not put an SCV on it for a very long time now, and I don't know if he's noticed. I mean, it looks like he hasn't.
Just around here by Squizin, actually. Beautiful Marine spread. Kills all of the lurkers there, unfortunately, for Hullabaloo. So Hullabaloo kind of threw away kind of that army advantage that he had after killing off the initial force there from Squizin.
Yeah, Consume almost done, but we don't have any Defiler out on the field yet, and these Hydras getting baited for trying desperately to get the vessel, which they do, but I mean, that was an expensive vessel, losing all those Hydra for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. We also don't really have lurkers here up at this high ground at the third base. Only 2 Sunkens, which is not going to be able to deal with this bio. So Hullabaloo trying to move his lurkers up here to stop the bio from getting up here, but the bio is getting up here. Can he stem forward to get maybe one of the Sunken colonies and just hold position these Marines back here just outside of lurker range? The Scourge also even going down as well. Some of these Hydras going down. So this is kind of like a standoff, Mexican standoff here between these 2 forces right now. Defiler not even out yet right now. They're still being built, so can't even get swarm out onto these lurkers right now. They're going to push forward a little bit. Maybe can they get in range of that siege tank? No, just outside of siege tank range. And now the tanks are going to be able to kill off that Sun colony, and maybe he'll be able to surround those lurkers and get them down as well.
Yeah, good catch for the Irradiate on this Defiler as well. So only 1 Defiler going to be able to get in range to get the swarm off, but is going to get off with these lurkers, but Marine's going to stem forward and jump on top of these.
So smart! So smart going forward to target down these drones. Really, really well done there by Squizin, taking a huge economic lead. Even also stopped the 3rd gas, by the way, and these Marines are just out of range of these lurkers under swarm. They're targeting down the hatchery. Now, they won't be able to get the hatchery, luckily, for Hullabaloo, but man, this is... Squizin's kind of turned the tides on this game a little bit. At the very least, Hullabaloo does have that gas down there at the bottom right-hand natural.
Yeah, even though he didn't kill the base, I mean... Hullabaloo very low on the drone count, so drone's very precious. Losing even just a handful there, very painful. And yeah, that, like you said, that was a very smart reaction from Squizin. The instant run down with the Marines. And I say this all the time. You hear Terrans constantly complaining, oh, they put up a cloud and now he's invincible. But little do you know, you can actually just move away from the cloud, and Zerg cannot counterplay that.
Yep, he's going to try to get up here. Is Hullabaloo trying to get up to the 9 o'clock position right now, but the Marines up on the high ground, they're doing a pretty good job of stopping. The Hydras are going to really get up here. No repair on this bunker, but maybe this will be too cost inefficient here for Hullabaloo. But right now, the Lurker's doing a pretty good job of getting down this bio count, and now there's a control group of Hydras now going to ransack this 9 o'clock. He's going to have to run all these SCVs away. No, trying to battle with these SCVs a little bit, attacking the command center. Maybe he's going to snipe the command center, especially with the Lurkers down here. That means that the SCVs can't really get close enough to repair, but now here comes the bio reinforcements. Will they be able to get there in time? Here come the SCVs repairing the command center right now, but there's just not enough units here for Squizen to really hold right now. The Hydra's getting top of the tanks as well, and the Lurkers now attacking the SCVs. SCVs going down, but Squizen's trying to focus elsewhere right now, maybe going for a counterattack there onto the 6 o'clock position. So trading a base for a base are these players.
Yeah, but that kind of favors Hullabaloo. I mean, Zerg economy does take a long time to mine out on these additional, like these original bases. With this base going down for Squizen, we're basically on just one base mining that's also running very, very dry. It does have a lot of vessels to try and get a lot of value, at least, so there might be something that he can find with that. But decent play, gets a couple of the vessels, gonna start throwing down these irradiates on the Lurkers as they try to get up here. And if Squizen can kill this base and pivot to the next base, Hullabaloo will definitely be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, but he's got to be very careful because, again, around that kind of 16, 17-minute mark is when Terrans start to run out of money here at both the main and the natural. There's a lot of radius going down, picking off all those Lurkers, but Squizen's on a timer right now, man. He's got to get that third base. That command center is going to get killed off by those Hydras, by the way. There's no swarm, though, at this third base, so he can take this out right now.
Yeah, this base is going to go down for Hullabaloo. We see these bio units try to jump on top of these Lurkers over here, but nice swarm, nice plague, a lot more bio goes down. And Squizen does at least have a bank, but I'm getting a little bit concerned because we're very, very close to not mining any more minerals.
Yeah, he does have so many vessels, though, in the air. There has not been basically almost any vessels that have gone down so far. Maybe like 1, maybe 2 so far. So these vessels staying in the air for this long, even with that big bank, means that he can continue to get a lot of value out of this irradiate. Even can just irradiate Hydras for all he cares at this point because he's got so many vessels out right now. Meanwhile, back at Squizen's base, yeah, he's not even really bothering with deal with these Lurkers. He just wants to end the game right now with all of these Marines, with that vessel count. Maybe he could even go for a D-Matrix on some of these Marines right now. Usually that's what I do when I have so much energy.
Oh my God.
Vessels. Oh, the Lurker spines, though.
Yeah, I was just about to say that Hullabaloo might just die, but yeah, not going to be the case. And now we see these Lurkers moving up with these Defiler, getting some swords down right in front of the natural. Does at least kill the Defilers off before the swarm gets too close, but still, these Lurkers getting a lot of value here against Squizen. And
he's going to try to go for the eraser trade. Does get a couple of these drones, but unfortunately for him, I don't think he knows about the bottom right-hand bases, actually. He needs to send like a Marine over there. He's got a couple Marines over at the 6 o'clock position. Maybe needs to send them over to get some more scouting information. And this is something that Terrans need to do, is when they get into this position where they get map control, they need to see where Zerg is taking bases, because that's what Zergs love to do. They like to just sneak a drone out, grab a base, because only a drone and 300 minerals. It's not that much of an investment for them to just try to get a hatch out.
yeah, great eraser trick, right? I mean, Hullabaloo down at 30 drones now, having to replace some of those drones, but his economy is not in shambles like Squizen might think that it is with this bottom right 2 bases coming up. I mean, this third base mining super healthily. We got an extra gas coming down with this hatchery in the bottom right, and at this point, if Hullabaloo just survives a little bit longer, then Squizen's going to run out of bank. He's got 2.3k minerals, but absolutely no mining whatsoever happening at the moment.
Yeah, and a Defiler walking up here. 2 Defilers, actually. Now, they don't have energy yet, but a couple Lings are coming over here to allow them to consume. No, he's just going to consume the Hydras, man. You got Lings right there. Consume those instead. And the Lurkers, unfortunately, are going down before the Swarm can get out. You now even a Radiate's coming out now. So all that Squizen needs to do is hold on. There is going to be a Swarm that's going to come out, maybe, if Hullabaloo is going to drop one. There it is. Okay. But the thing is that these Lurkers are going to get irradiated by these vessels. They're all going to die. He just needs to bide a little bit of time, and he's going to get that command center lifted off and over back to that 9 o'clock, establish some mining right now. He does have a bank. He can still play. He doesn't need to get panicky just yet, but he does need to start thinking about how he can deal with this contain.
Yeah, it's a great plague on a lot of these vessels, but we're not really making anything to clear up the vessels. Would love to see that one Muta sprinkled in there to kind of snipe off the weakened vessels. Squizen may have just spotted these bottom right bases because we see the bio kind of pivoting down that direction. He knows there's nothing at 6 o'clock at the moment with those 2 Marines down there spotting. And gonna follow this drone. And what do we have? We have 1 Lurker building and a few Hydras. We don't have a Nidus Canal or anything like that to get our units across the map. So if Squizen picks his base off and we can start mining at 9 o'clock. That being said, we're still being trapped in our base here just by a couple units. Gonna finally clean it up with these irradiates.
Yep. The Hydras did pick up a few of the vessels, but because Squizzen's been really good about making all these vessels, he's still got a total of 7 right now in the air with quite a bit of energy. But now Hydra Lurk attacking that 9 o'clock expansion. Squizzen still not able to get it yet. And now Swarm protecting that bottom right. I feel like this game is slowly slipping away from Squizzen.
Yeah, it's not looking great anymore. I mean, we have him mined for so long now. He is still floating a bit of money, just because we're not spending it. But yeah, CC gonna die again. That was our main CC, so now our Natural's gonna try. And, I mean, while this is happening, right, Hulu just continuing to get value, continuing to mine and get bigger and bigger. I think this is it for Squizzen. We're just walking Marines into Lurkers now. Our precious few units.
Hydra's in great position as well, killing off a couple more vessels. And yeah, the one advantage that Squizzen had, which was his tech, those vessels in the air getting so much value are gone. And that's going to be GG. Hullabaloo taking a very well-fought game number 1.
Wow, wow, wow. Yo, what's up, Igloo? Ugh. Alright, so we got Hullabaloo up 1. You guys get a black screen. I know you guys like that. We got Deja Vu. Let's go Squizzen, says Igloo. How dare you? How dare you root for a Protoss player?
But he's playing Terra right now, so.
It's not good enough.
Oh.
Alright, I'll let you start us off this time.
All right, spawning up here, I believe it's on Deja Vu. Game number 2 is going to be Squizzen as the sort of olive green-ish. I don't know what color you'd give this.
Yeah.
Some kind of like bluish green Terran. Meanwhile, down here at the bottom right-hand location, up 1-0, is the Blue Zerg Hullabaloo, and scouting also in the right direction with his Overlord, so very nice for him.
Yeah, gonna be nice to get that first scout with your Overlord as Zerg. Always feels pretty good to just immediately have your Overlord in the correct position to monitor everything Terran's doing.
Yep. And Terran, you know, they should know that where the typical first Overlord comes out from, so he should be scouting in that direction first anyways. But he's going for, actually, the good old 8 racks. So, yeah, that one's going to be at least close spawn. But, oh no, it's going to be a 9 pool. 9 pool from Hullabaloo.
Oh, no.
So this 8 racks also is not in the best spot, by the way. This is one of the reasons why I just built the 8 racks in the wall, so I don't just die to a 9 pool. So we'll see if Squizzen's going to be able to recognize what he's got to do and deal with this efficiently here.
Yeah, it's pretty bad for Squizzen. A little bit of luck of the draw there. I mean, Hullabaloo going for the complete opposite, basically, of what he did last game. We go from 3 hatch before pull into a 9 pull versus 8 rack. So really unfortunate for Squizzen. It's not necessarily the end of the game, but it is extremely difficult to play from this position as Terran.
Yeah, definitely agree on that one. Also, by the way, I don't know what changes they made to the map, but I don't even know if he can fully wall off at the bottom area. So he's gonna have a hole at the top and also a hole at the bottom.
Yeah, I think you have to wall on the right side of that little doodad there on the bottom, and it just makes the wall a little bit uglier.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens here. He's going to get the scout off, though, onto the first location. And he's going to come in and probably see no hatchery and be like, uh-oh, it's a pool first. And the Lings are popping out right now. And the SCV's going to see no hatch. So he's got to turn back. You got to turn back tail. Squizzy, you can't keep moving out with these Marines.
Yeah, continuing on this Marine is absolute insanity. Okay, now we're going to turn around. But it might be a little bit too late. I don't think it's going to be able to get back to the wall in time. Or at least it's going to be kind of close, actually.
Yeah, and also the fact that Squizzen built his second depot a little bit late. This tells me that he maybe doesn't know the exact proper build order and with the timings of everything on an 8 racks. But yeah, he's going to have to lift that barracks, probably have to give up that supply depot, and just hope they can hold. But no, he's going to try to hold the low ground here with these SCVs and Marines. Okay, we are up to 4 Marines, though, with these SCVs. And he actually showed us last game, and we're kind of seeing it again. Pretty good Marine control there, not to take any damage so far from these Lings. So it's actually looking pretty good for Squizzen at the moment. Yep. Hullabaloo is going to kind of poach this Marine coming out of the barracks here. Going to try to get around it as soon as it pops out. And also, by the way, going to bottom right, he's going to do a 3-hatch again, going with the third hatchery at the third base location there. Getting the natural this time, not the main base. But this is pretty good so far from Squizen. Yeah, nice body blocking here from the SCVs and beautiful micro. Is he going to even lose a Marine? Okay. He lost 2 Marines at the very end there, but lost total 8 Lings there from Hullabaloo. So really, really well done from Squizen.
Yeah, this is actually really great for Squizen, and that's kind of what I was saying, right? Like, even though this is really tough for Terran, he controlled it really well. Pretty good response. Was a little bit worried initially that he wasn't turning around fast enough, but yeah, good response bringing the SCVs down. Great control with his units, and yeah, losing only 2 Marines after Zerg goes 8 Lings off of a 9 pool. When you go 8 racks, you've done more damage this way than you did just killing a couple drones.
Yep, absolutely. He forced out Lings, and now even more Lings are coming out from Hullabaloo. He really likes that Ling style, as we saw from last game as well. Didn't really drone up very hard, just wanted to make Lings. And in this case, he does have to make Lings, because otherwise Terran can just walk across the map and kill you with those Marines that they've been continuously producing. So really well done so far from Squizen. He's really got this game in a nice spot for himself. Obviously, the only thing is, does he understand and is he aware of this third base, and does he understand how to deal with it later on in this game? Last game he did a pretty good job trying to go up there with his Marines, but wasn't there in time yet, unfortunately. So Hullabaloo was managing to pick off kind of that initial bio ball with the mass Ling. We'll see if Hullabaloo is going to do the same thing, and this time instead of a fast academy, we do see the fast engineering bay from Squizen.
Okay, so going to be more of a macro build from Squizen, more than a pushing style kind of. But yeah, I'm actually kind of with you on that. I'm curious to see how he handles the third base. If Hullabaloo plays it pretty well, there are a lot of ways that you can punish this third from Zerg. It's a very greedy third for Zerg to take, because they're like saying, hey, I just have to defend this one base and then I get my second gas for free, or my fourth gas for free later when I want it. But you can do things like elevator plays and certain things like that to kind of punish. But again, with Squizen being kind of fresh to Terran, he might not know necessarily the correct ways of punishing that. So Hullabaloo might be able to get away with this greedy third base into a fourth base.
Spire going down there for Hullabaloo, so he's gone layer into Spire off these 3 bases. So this is kind of like a almost like a slight variation of like a 2-hash meta play, with the third base just being a little bit faster. So we'll see. Maybe Hullabaloo might go into like a Hydra Guardian play here, because he does have that third base so fast. But we'll just have to see. He's actually going for Hydrogen at the third base as well. So double tech here, being a little bit tricky. So maybe he might have that Spire down. Squizen's going to build all these turrets and just get Lurkers ran into his base. So this is going to be pretty cool here from Hullabaloo if he can pull this off.
Yeah, we're starting to see Hullabaloo style kind of come out a little bit. We're seeing he's definitely a little bit of a cheeky player, right? We go 3 hatch before pull into 9 pull Spire with a hidden fast Hydra den. So it's going to show Spire, and then it may end up just being that Lurker rush, and we do see Lurker aspect start immediately. So he might be going for, well, not might be, he is going for a surprise tactic here with the Lurker. Squizen going to scan and see the mutas and be like, okay, or the Spire. He's going to be like, okay, it's just going to be a standard muta play, and he's going to be preparing for that. But little does he know, Lurkers lurking on the horizon.
Yep. Hullabaloo once again making a lot of Lings, man. It's just so many Lings. He really doesn't like drones, I guess. He just wants to be aggressive. Almost kind of like a Quan roll style from Kesper, man. Like we used to call it Quan roll, because he would just roll people over with his aggression. But yeah, again, we'll see how Squizen holds this off. Actually, it's very interesting. He went for the fast +1 and only made 3 racks, which is not usually what you do. You make 4 typically. But he's just making sure he gets all the defenses up, so maybe that's why his 4th racks is a little bit late, or maybe he just wants to stay on 3 and potentially tech a little bit faster here later on.
We all know what it is. He doesn't know the eBay build. That's what it comes down to.
Well, he's got the factory started at 7 minutes off an 8 racks. It's not too bad for him.
Okay, that's pretty decent.
We'll see. I mean, yeah, maybe he just doesn't know that he can afford the 4th racks, but it looks like he really wants to keep making SCVs. He doesn't want to cut, and so that's maybe why he wanted to stay on 3 racks.
He should be getting a little bit suspicious at this point that we have seen absolutely no muta whatsoever after scanning the Spire. And Hullabaloo is kind of being, I guess he's just being defensive, actually. He showed Spire just to, force the turrets, and then we went into defensive Lurkers and Queen's Nest. So it's a very odd style that Hullabaloo likes to play here.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's almost like Herbmon style, right? Like Herbmon, like it's funny you say that. Oh, we haven't seen a Meta yet, but like Herbmon would make Spire make like 11 Metas and just not even attack with the Metas.
Yeah.
He would just play really defensively, anyways. But this is definitely different. It's there's no Metas at all on the map, and he's even gonna get a lurker caught out here. But we'll see if Hullabaloo can maybe sneak a couple of these lurkers in. It looks like almost like a delayed 2-hash lurker all in here with the 3 lurkers with the mass Ling behind it. But here we go, no bunker at the front either.
Yeah, this is so hard to read. Even as the observer, I'm having a hard time reading what Hullabaloo's going for. Yeah, it's just kind of this like weird timing stab with these lurkers. I mean, it's only 3 lurkers, a bunch of Lings, but Ling's gonna funnel in here and just kind of get eaten alive actually for free basically against these
Oh, the
Firebats.
fire bats are perfectly positioned, by the way. Meanwhile, we're going to see a counterattack here by Squizzin, but luckily there are 3 Sunkens out here. He might be able to buzz with the 4 medics, but maybe not here. He's got the bunker up as well. Scans going down maybe. I don't think he... Oh, man, that lurker looks like it's in range of the bunker, but guess not. Maybe he forgot range upgrade?
Yeah,
No, okay, he's definitely got range upgrade, I think.
Okay, yeah, he does. I was actually with you for a second there. I was like, man, we don't have range, but yeah, definitely seeing him shoot the Lings, he does actually have range. Lurker's getting into a pretty annoying position, killing a few SCVs and forcing the SCVs to leave. We actually lifted our factory, unfortunately, so we still don't have tanks anywhere close to being on the way. It looks like we did find this 3rd, though, and there is currently nothing here to defend.
Yep, he's got Stim 4 to go. Yep, 3 lurker eggs right now, only halfway done, and he's gonna be able to get all this tech as well. The evolution chamber, not researching anything at the moment, but getting all these drones, and hopefully he's gonna be able to pick off all these lurkers as they spawn out and be able to get himself back into this game right now. So it's gonna be a 1-base Terran versus like a 2-base Zerg. But here we go, lurkers are trying to burrow. Good scan going down. Nice spread from the Marines.
Nice.
We've seen Squizzin's Marine control has been excellent these past 2 games, and nothing different there. Takes out the hatchery, gonna take out the Hydrant and the Evo chamber, forcing Hullabaloo to remake that tech. And again, Hullabaloo light on drones, which means that it's going to be really difficult for him to remake that tech.
Yeah, I'm liking Squizzin's position a lot more here. If you guys haven't seen it enough, a 1-base Terran is actually not that bad against a 2-base Zerg. Your tech just gets so much value, right? So we're just going to be pumping Marines. We're going to be trying to add in vessels hopefully soon after this tank. The only thing, unfortunately, for Squizzin is we don't have gas, and we didn't get to mine much from our natural, it seems, before we started going to this tech. So tank on the way, vessel on the way, and this will at least help dislodge a lot of these lurkers so it can get back to mining as natural.
Yeah, the Firebrand does finish for Hullabaloo, so Consume is, you know, it's a little bit away. Especially the vessel should pop out
Sneaky
before the
lurkers here
Defiler
on the
is
left
gonna be able to get
side.
out. Yep. But wow, Squiz with some game sense. He's checking for bases right now. But I think Hullabaloo's gonna try to match this kind of Marine movement and try to keep them down here and get them when they try to push back out to the middle map. So really nicely done. Star sense from both players actually. Squizzin going down to 6 first. Hullabaloo realizing that, and now is gonna position the lurkers in such a perfect position here. Is he whole positioning? He is whole positioning, and
Oh my
yep,
God.
there go the Marines. Not all of them, but most of them, half the army, I would say there. And yeah, the Marines aren't going to be able to do anything.
It's actually a
after
really
this.
quick reaction from Squizzin as well. I mean, both players, you see one lurker now pivot back over to the left. So Hullabaloo seems to be a pretty intelligent player, reading Squizzin's movements pretty well. But these units not even going to try to go home anymore. They're just like, okay, we'll just stay down here and make sure you don't take this base back, I guess.
Squizzin's having a little bit of trouble trying to get this tank to shoot these lurkers without the lurkers shooting back. The tank does end up getting a half
Oh,
HP.
no.
Oh, the first vessel! No. That's the worst thing that can happen is losing your first vessel in a position like this. And 3 Defilers with Consume just about to finish. Where are the Zerglings, Hullabaloo? You know you love your Zerglings. There they are, Lings meeting up. And man, if he gets a swarm on top of this natural, this might be game because the vessel is not... There's no vessel started. There's no second vessel at all. How are you going to stop this?
Yeah, we don't have any gas, as somebody pointed out. The gas at the natural was never even mined yet, so yeah, we're just hurting on gas really badly this game. Hullabaloo is very low on supply, but it doesn't matter how low your supply is if you're at their natural with lurkers and swarm and no vessels to stop this from happening.
Yep, as long as Hullabaloo controls this properly, he's going to be in a great spot here, picking off so many of these Marines, ransacking the natural. Oh, one lurker steps out of the Cheeto dust, unfortunately, but he's going to be able to continue to move forward here with these Hydras, with these lurkers, and he's going to once again stop this natural from going down. Squiz is going to GG. Oh, man, he must feel so upset right now. He was in a good position in both the games, and unfortunately let it slip out of his hands.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Squizzin. Hullabaloo is going to take that 2-0 and move on to the round of 16, joining, Kava, was it Miracle, and who am I forgetting?
Doodle.
Doodle. Yes, Doodle.
Yeah, but Squiz has got a lot of potential, man. That Terran looked pretty strong. Honestly, you know, he just gotta obviously do a little bit better with his build in some areas, but I thought that his micro was phenomenal. I mean, that biocontrol is up there with some of the best. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, I completely agree. The biocontrol looked very, very strong. Everything else looked terrible.
Not that bad, but yeah, not ideal. Let's put it that way. But yeah, really excited to see what he does with his Terran, man. It seems like he's got excellent control, which is honestly what Terran needs. Like they need really strong control with their army in TVP and in TVZ. So.
All right. Okay, my voice is completely shot, so, but we made it.
Yep, we did. It was a great cast. 3 awesome series. Honestly, every game was good. I know they all ended up at 2-0s, but I think every single game of the 6 games was pretty well played from both sides. So really entertaining series. Can't wait to see what further games we got.
That's true. We've had 2-0 every series so far. Crazy. All right. I appreciate it, Flash. Thanks for joining me, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
My viewers
we
giving
got
you
some-
lots of compliments.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate everybody. Also, thanks to Ozzy, obviously, letting me come on a stream and cast with him. I know we can always put aside our differences to get a good cast in. But we'll be back together at some point down, probably in the round of 16. Probably get some more games assigned to us once some more shays pour in. So.
You know, I don't hate you that much, Flash. It's just a little bit.
It's all a joke. I know. We have to keep the charade up, though. It's like Vermin with me. Vermin always tells me that he hates my guts all the time.
Okay,
but deep down, I know that he cares about me.
All right, that's good. I feel like I need to clarify some lately, you know?
No, I know. You wouldn't let me come cast with you if you actually hated me. That would never happen.
So true.
All right. Well, I'll let you wrap your stream up or do whatever you want with your stream, and I'll catch you later. Thanks everyone for watching. Appreciate y'all listening to me, and we'll see you guys for the next one.
All right. See you, Flash. Appreciate it.
See ya.
All right, boys and girls. Anything what? Hot tub stream? Nah, I'm gonna call it here. I streamed about 5 hours total today, which is pretty good for me, honestly. My voice, you guys can probably hear it. I'm having to clear my throat, cough, all that good stuff. I have such a weak voice. It doesn't last very long. So I'm gonna take the rest of the evening off. I will stream tomorrow, but I won't do any casting tomorrow. I'm gonna start saving my voice. I do want a ladder, and I need to play some of my Spring Cup games and all that stuff, so. Oh, and I'm playing Worst sometime from Friday to Sunday. Oh, actually, maybe I'm playing right now. So, never mind. Okay, actually, I have a game to play, so I'm just gonna knock that out right now. Versus a pretty strong Terran player. Not my best matchup. But I can talk to you guys now. You guys have my attention now. How did Squizzin do? He did alright. He lost 0-2, but I think he showed a fair amount of potential. Definitely is some potential there. His micro is multitasking, like everything actually looks pretty solid. He just hasn't played. I feel like he's just too fresh with Terran, right? Yeah. Just some things that he's got to learn still. But his mechanics are like super solid looking. Okay. Let me just go use the restroom. And then we're gonna get smashed in a TVT. Okay, be right back. Give me like 2 minutes. All right. All right, all right. It's been a productive day for me, guys. We did a stream this morning, and then got some groceries. When got the newborn calf, brought it up to the barn. Unfortunately, it was born on the other side of the pasture, so I had to carry it literally forever. Weighed like 70, 80 pounds. Good exercise. Knocked out some replays for the tournament. Now we're gonna do our Spring Cup match. With my worst matchup against someone that's like 300 MMR higher than me. If I can take one game, I'll be happy. BBS for a freebie? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Alright. Alright. You guys are gonna have to listen to me cough. Now that I'm not casting anymore, you're gonna hear me coughing and clearing my throat a bunch. So I hope you like that.
Can I read you? Yes, sir.
Oh my god.
Order scouting.
Not the cleanest.
Orders received.
It's okay.
Reporting for duty. Roger that.
Actually, pretty bad. So we're gonna lock in. We're locking in now.
Not enough minerals.
I read you. Affirmative. Affirmative. Right away, sir.
Not enough minerals.
Orders, Captain.
Well, if it gets scouted, it's an auto loss. And Spinner stuff on Fighting Spirit's a little bit predictable, I think.
Received.
I'd like to do a 1-1-1, but I don't want to do it
Orders received.
on this map. If it's crawl spawn, it's pretty rough.
SCP good to go, sir. Roger that.
Not enough minerals.
Reporting for duty. Orders, Captain. Right
Oh
away,
no.
sir. Yes, sir.
Not the best clicking so far.
Orders, Captain. Reporting for duty. Orders,
Additional
Captain.
supply
Job finished,
depots
sir.
required.
Roger that. Affirmative. Right away, sir. Orders, Captain.
I was kind of thinking of opening 1-1-1, but it's too late now.
Right away, sir.
We'll go next game, probably.
Reporting for duty. Affirmative. SCP good to go, sir. I read you.
Oh, I just forgot my gas. I guess we're gonna go 15 CC.
I read you. Yes, sir. SCP good to go, sir.
Lost in thought. As we do.
I read you. Roger that. Right away, sir. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. Orders, Captain. Roger that. Affirmative. Roger that. Yes, sir.
Kinda troll.
Orders received. I can't job finished. Orders, Captain. SCP good to go, sir. Right away, sir. I read you. Right away, sir.
Not enough
Yes,
minerals.
sir.
Not enough minerals.
I read you.
Your forces are under attack.
Commander, go, go, go.
Yes, sir.
Give me something to shoot. Rock and roll. Outstanding. Rock and roll. Standing by.
I read you.
Standing by.
Orders, Captain.
Additional supply depots required.
Reporting for duty.
Jacked up and good to go. Go, go,
Job
go.
finished. Orders, Captain. Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Standing by. Jacked up and good to go.
Orders, Captain. Job
Piece
finished.
of me, boy.
SCP good to go, sir.
Standing by. Rock
Your
and
forces are under
I
attack.
read you.
standing by.
Yes, sir. Orders, Captain. Job finished. Reporting for duty. Affirmative. Orders received.
Jacked up and good to go.
Yes, sir. SCP good to go, sir.
Standing by. Jacked up.
Ah, need to show up with another Marine, man.
SCP good to go, sir.
I can't get a scout off because I forgot the scout earlier.
Reporting for duty. Roger that.
Your forces are under attack.
Orders, Captain. SCP good to go, sir. Orders,
Looks
Captain.
like
Roger
it's gonna be very aggressive.
I read you.
Also think he's bottom right.
SCP good to go, sir.
Your forces are under
I
attack.
read you. Roger that. Job finished. Orders, Captain. Right away, sir. Yes, sir. Reporting for duty.
Not enough minerals.
Yes, sir.
Not enough minerals.
SCP good to go, sir.
Nope, squad spawn.
Orders, Captain.
Your forces are under attack.
Orders, Captain.
Add-on
SCP good
complete.
to go, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Probably could have pulled a lot sooner.
Captain. Reporting for duty. Job orders received. Reporting for duty. SCP good to go, sir. Yes, sir. Orders, Captain. SCP good to go, sir. Job finished. Yes, sir.
base is under attack.
Read you. Report for duty.
Roll out. Delighted to serve.
Additional supply depots required.
Affirmative. Report for duty.
Identify target.
Additional supply forces are under attack.
Sir. Identify target. Orders, sir.
SCV good to go, sir. Orders, Captain. Orders, Captain.
Delighted to serve. Go ahead,
Insufficient
SCV good to go, sir.
Yes, sir. Delighted to serve.
Report for duty. Affirmative. Roger that.
Standing by. Coordinates received.
I read you.
Go ahead.
I read you. SCV good to go, sir.
Your forces are insufficient for sphere gas.
Identify target.
Orders, Captain.
Go ahead, Commander. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reporting in.
Yes, sir.
Orders, sir.
Yes, sir. Orders, Captain. I read you.
Transmit core.
Report for duty. Yes, sir. Orders, Captain.
Standing by.
Base is under attack.
SCV good to go, sir. Orders received.
What? Was I not repairing? Dude, I'm so dumb. Holy cow. Well, I just lost the game.
Report for duty.
Whatever. I've never even done 15cc before. It's a complete accident that I went for this. But, I mean, I was holding really poorly to begin with. It was a disaster. I actually had, like, for those spawns, like, hard winning position with my opening, except I don't know how to do the build. I didn't have the gas for the extra starports. Maybe I need to take my second gas, like, a lot sooner when I do that. Actually, not sure. Oops.
Yes, sir. Orders received.
Which is funny because he was doing 111. And I think my opening's like actually good against 111 if done correctly.
SCV good to go, sir.
I think. Maybe that's not true actually.
Report for
But yeah, he was planning 111. It looked like from the beginning.
Not enough
I
minerals.
read you. Right away, sir. SCV good to go, sir.
Not
Yes,
enough
sir.
minerals.
Orders, Captain. Right away, sir. Orders received. I read you. Affirmative.
Oops, oops, oops.
SCV good to go, sir.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Right away, sir. SCV good to go, sir. I read you. Report for duty. Affirmative. SCV good to go,
Additional
sir.
supply depots required.
Orders, Captain. Orders received. Roger that. I can't build there. Report for duty. Report for duty. SCV good to go, sir.
Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Reporting for duty. Roger that. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Job's finished. SCP good to go, sir. I read you. Yes, sir. Orders received. SCP good to go, sir. Yes, sir. Finished. Affirmative. I read you. I read you.
Insufficient Vespene gas.
Yes, sir. SCP good to go, sir. Right away, sir. Orders received. Affirmative.
Not enough minerals. Not enough
SCP good
minerals.
to go, sir. Orders, Captain?
Additional supply depots forces are
SCP good to
under
go,
attack.
sir. I read you.
Commander, rocket
Job
roll.
finished. Reporting for duty. Right away, sir. Yes, sir.
Standing by.
SCP good to go, sir. Job
Piece of me, boy.
I can't build there. Orders, Captain?
Standing by.
Reporting for duty. SCP good to go, sir. Roger that. Orders,
Piece of
Captain?
me, boy.
Roger that. SCP good to go, sir.
Standing by.
Add-on complete.
Piece of me, boy. Go, go, go. Give me some of this shoot. Rock and roll. Go, go, go. Commander,
That's crazy.
give me some of this shoot.
Job finished. Reporting for duty. Job orders, Captain?
Not enough minerals. Your forces are under attack.
That's why you're supposed to stay on the ramp. Because of the vulture. Unbelievable. I'm just like not paying attention, man. It doesn't work anymore now that I've lost these marines.
Not enough minerals.
I'm supposed to not come down the ramp.
I read you.
I'm just dumb.
Affirmative.
Give me some of this shoot.
Pretty dumb.
Piece of me, boy. Read the waiting launch orders. Go ahead, Commander.
Not
SCP
enough
good to go,
minerals.
sir.
Research complete.
Oh right, it's not even good on this map anyway, because you can't make...
Piece of me, boy. Reporting in.
Your forces are under attack.
Yes, sir. Reporting for duty.
Your forces are under attack.
Roger. Destination. Standing by. Roger.
SCP good to go, sir. Reporting for duty.
Additional supply depots required.
Reporting for duty. Orders received.
Your forces are under attack.
SCP good to go, sir.
Insufficient Vespene gas. Additional supply depots required.
I can't build there. I read you.
Additional supply depots required.
Orders received. Destination. Proceed.
Coordinates.
I read you. Orders, Captain. Right away, sir.
It's,
Your forces are under attack.
Reporting for duty. Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Reporting in. Roger.
I read you.
not good.
SCP good to go,
Add-on
sir.
complete.
Orders, Captain. Reporting for duty.
All very unnecessary.
Your forces are under attack.
Attack formation. Coordinates. Attack formation.
Reporting for duty.
Coordinates received. Yes, sir. Sector locked in. Attack formation.
Yes, sir. Orders, Captain.
Forces are under attack.
He went proxy starport,
Not enough minerals.
but none of that should have mattered except that I
Standing by. Orders, Captain? Transmit coordinates. Go ahead, Commander.
again I let him kill these marines with that vulture.
Attack.
Roger. Ready to roll out. Good to go, sir. Destination? Absolutely. I read you. Orders, Captain?
Research complete.
Destination? Delighted to, sir. Standing by. SCP good to go, sir. Affirmative. I read you. SCP good to go, sir.
Not enough minerals. Your forces are under attack.
Destination on shoulder. Moving. SCP good to go, sir. Go ahead, Commander.
Not enough minerals.
Transmit coordinates. Job finished. Reporting for duty. SCP
Not
good to go,
enough
sir.
minerals.
Go ahead, Commander. Coordinates received. Roger. Attack formation. I read you. I can't feel that. Identify target. Reporting in. Attack formation. Roger. Vector on in. Roger that. Delighted to, sir. Roger that. Reporting for duty. Identify target. Transmit coordinates. Attack formation. Roger. Roger that. Standing by. Job finished. Good to go, sir. Orders, Captain? I read you. Reporting in. Yes, sir. Transmit coordinates. Identify
Your forces are under attack.
good to go, sir. Attack formation. Orders, Captain? Go ahead, Commander. Reporting for duty. Orders, Captain? Orders, Captain? Ready to roll out.
We forgot. God, my voice is so gone, dude. You hear that?
SCP good to go, sir.
Forgot my
Received. Yes, sir.
barracks. I can't make more factories, man.
Reporting in. Attack formation. SCP good to go, sir. Roger. Coordinates received. SCP good to go, sir. Roger.
Your forces are under
Attack
attack.
formation. Orders, Captain? Orders, Captain?
Otherwise, we'd be in a great spot right now.
SCP good to go, sir. Right away, sir. Reporting in. SCP good to go, sir. Orders, Captain? Go ahead, Commander. Vector locked in. Transmit coordinates. SCP good to go, sir. Right away, sir. Destination? SCP good to go, sir. I read you. Orders, Captain? Standing by. Job finished. Vector SCP good to go, sir. Reporting for duty. I read you. Finished. Right away, sir. Yes, sir. Roger that. Yes, sir.
Not
Right
enough
away, sir.
minerals.
Yes, sir. SCP good to go, sir. Reporting. SCP good to go, sir. Transmit coordinates.
Did I not have 3 tanks?
Transmit
I got 2 right now.
Report ready to roll out. Proceeding. I read you. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna get contained.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Commander. Coordinates received. SCP good to go, sir.
Yeah.
Destination. Go ahead, Commander. Identify target. I read you. Yes, sir. I read you.
Because I have no factories to produce units.
SCP good to go, sir. Yes, sir. Report for duty. Job finished. SCP good to go, sir. Job
Upgrade complete.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Not very good.
SCP good to go, sir. Yes, sir. SCP good to go, sir. I read you.
Additional supply depots required.
Job finished. Standing by. Job finished. Bring it on. Yeah.
Add-on complete.
Yes, sir.
Additional supply depots required.
Yes, sir.
Input coordinates.
Job finished.
Buckle up.
Reporting in.
Input coordinates.
Bring it on. Good to go, sir.
Additional supply depots required. Research complete. Not enough minerals.
Right away, sir. Job finished. Affirmative. Ready to roll out. Yes, sir. I read you.
Yeah, we had advantages again, but we screwed it up again.
Can I take your order?
Not enough minerals.
Absolutely. I reach it, sir.
Add-on complete. Add-on complete.
Identify target. Yes, sir. All right, bring it on. Go ahead, HQ. Destination, sir. Destination. Identify target. Orders, sir. Absolutely. Proceeding.
Your forces are under attack.
Destination. Yes, sir. Delighted to, sir. Identify target. Orders, sir. Ready to roll out. Moving. Proceeding. I reach it, sir. Can I take your order? Identify target. Destination. Orders, Captain. Ready to roll out. Still there.
Insufficient phosphine gas.
Identify target. Orders, sir. Yes, sir. Destination. Go ahead, TACOM. Ready to roll out. Orders, sir. Can I take your order? In the box. Identify target. What do you want? Channel open. Identify target. Destination.
I'm just scanning some like drop
Go
ships.
ahead, HQ. I'm listening. What do you want? Destination. Go ahead, Commander. Input coordinates. Reporting in. Ready to roll out. I'm listening. Go ahead, HQ. Standing by. Go ahead, HQ. Input coordinates. Input coordinates. Standing by. Ready to roll out. Go ahead, Destination. Hang on. We're in for the job. I'm listening. Go ahead, HQ. Identify target. Yes, sir. Proceed. Go ahead, Commander. Yes, sir. Transmit coordinates. Input coordinates. Hang on. We're in for some
Your
job.
forces are under attack.
Orders, sir. Identify orders, sir. Systems functional. Orders, sir. Yeah. Calling online. Destination. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Moving.
we do.
Destination. Identify target. Orders, sir. Absolutely.
Your forces are under attack.
Yes, sir. Orders, sir. Delighted to, sir. Yeah. Orders, sir.
This is bad. It's all bad. I had a big advantage and I forgot to make my barracks.
I read you. Orders, Captain? I read you. Report for duty. SCV good to go, sir.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV good to go, sir.
Not enough
I think my brain is just too fried right now.
SCV good to
I'm in a really good spot if I just remake my barracks, but I literally just can't
Roger that.
focus.
SCV good to go, sir. SCV good to go,
Additional
sir.
supply depots required.
But it doesn't matter. I didn't think I was gonna beat this guy anyway.
Orders, Captain. Orders received.
Just wish I could perform a little better than that, that's all.
Yes, sir.
I know that I can perform better than that.
SCV good to go, sir.
Not enough minerals.
Orders, Captain. SCV good to go, sir. Orders, Captain. Job's finished. Yes, sir. Roger that. SCV good to go, sir. Reporting for duty.
I forgot my barracks and then I was like, oh yeah, he's just gonna come contain me. Which I could have stopped. I had to cloak Wraith
Yes, sir. Job's finished.
and everything to deal with it.
I read you. Affirmative. Right away, sir.
Couple tanks. If I just went up in a position. I forgot I did 11 gas.
SCV good to
The
go.
factory's like not even faster than... Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
Orders, Captain. Right away, sir.
Not enough minerals.
So he's done 1-1-1 2 games in a row now. Probably just do it again.
Job's finished. I read you.
He got first scout, I didn't.
Not enough minerals.
SCV good to go, sir.
Let's move. Outstanding.
I don't know where this SCV is going.
Jacked up and good to go.
I read you. I'm finished. I read you. I read you. Roger that.
Well, he went cross first.
Affirmative.
Is that what happened?
Orders received.
First got him in cross one.
Commander, go, go, go. Give me something to shoot.
Okay.
SCV good to go, sir. Job
Well, that kind of sucks for cross one.
Good to go. No Jacked up and good to go.
I read you, sir. SCV good to go, sir. Affirmative. Reporting for duty. Yes,
Our
sir.
forces are out of minerals.
SCV
Yeah, no
good to go,
CC, so
sir.
probably the same thing.
Reporting for duty. I read you. Roger that. Roger that. Something on your mind? I read you, sir. SCV good to go, sir. I read you, sir. Yeah, I'm going. Something on your mind? Yeah? No problem. SCV good to go, sir. Something on your mind? I read you, sir. I read you. I read you, sir. Oh, is that it? I dig. SCV good to go, sir. No problem. Yeah? Yeah, I'm going. No problem. Yeah, I'm going. I dig. SCV good to go, sir. No problem. Yeah, I'm going. Job finished. Is that it?
Your forces are under attack.
It's a hidden factory.
I read you.
Maybe even 2 hidden factories. Different cheese this time. It's been a cheese every game.
I read you. Orders, Captain. Affirmative. Reporting for duty. Orders, Captain. Orders received. I read you.
I have 2 vultures that are 1 head left coming back.
Your forces are under attack.
Roger that. What are you on? Oh, is that it?
Base is under
Yes,
attack.
sir. I read you. Reporting for duty. Orders received.
Man, this guy. This guy. We're playing Predict the All-In. Predict the Cheese.
Base is under attack.
Yes, sir. Roger that. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Right away, sir. Orders, Captain. Roger that. Job finished. Orders, Captain. SCV good to go, sir. Orders, Captain.
Your forces are under attack.
SCV good to go, sir. Reporting for duty. Right away, sir. Affirmative. SCV good to go, sir. Job finished. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Insufficient SC
Good to go,
units.
sir.
Not enough minerals.
Job finished. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. SCV good to go, sir. Orders, Captain. Job finished. Orders, Captain. Right away, sir. Reporting for duty. SCV good to go, sir. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. SCV good to go, sir. Affirmative. Orders, Captain. All right. Reporting for duty.
Upgrade complete.
Sir. Orders, Captain. Orders, Captain.
Not
Job
enough
finished.
minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV good to go, sir. Roger that. All right. Bring it on. Good to go, sir. All right. Bring it on.
Your forces are under attack.
SCV good to go, sir. Job finished. SCV good to go, sir. I read you, sir.
I just killed him.
Orders, Captain. Orders, sir. Delighted to, sir. All right. Bring it on. Destination, moving. Proceeding. What do you
Your forces are under attack.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Identify target. Orders, sir. Identify target. SCV good to go, sir. Bring it on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Orders, Captain. Orders, sir. Absolutely. Reporting for duty.
Research complete.
Ready to roll out. Orders, sir. Absolutely.
Upgrade
Good to go,
complete.
sir. Something on your mind? Oh, is that it? Destination. Orders, sir. Moving.
I can pull SCVs and hold, but it doesn't matter. I'm too far behind. Thought he was just gonna 1-1-1 again. But, yeah, whatever. It's fine. I was floating like 500 minerals. Okay, that's gonna do it for me. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I'm gonna head out for a little bit, take a break. Thanks for watching.